But you have to go with the flow. My favorite animal to film is the elephant because of how big it is. But when it's really up close to you, it's one animal that you would say, I really respect you.
Alright, so coming along towards Treehouse Dam, all the way across the valley, I've spotted a herd of elephants. It looks like they are moving towards the drainage line and possibly towards the dam. And this is exactly what I was hoping for. I have not seen many elephants since I've been back. And I would be very excited if they come towards the dam. So it looks like there is a youngster there, right next to that big adult female. She looks quite old actually. Her temples are sunken in. She's got very decent tusks. Oh, there's the youngster. It definitely seems like they're on a bit of a mission. Normally elephants feed a little bit more slowly, but perhaps mom and baby are excited to get to the waterhole. So I'm pretty sure these elephants are really loving this weather today. They would have enjoyed the rain as well, just to rinse them off. But I think the cool weather really just allows them a little bit more freedom in terms of not having to hide in the shade. But you can see how far off this view is. It really is across the valley. As you can see, we've still got the rain roofs on. And it just goes to show even the biggest animal can be so well camouflaged. Absolutely incredible. So what I'm definitely going to do is try and get as close as I can to that drainage line. Hopefully they might be coming towards us at some point. As you can see how far across the valley that was. And that absolutely made my day already, just seeing them across and knowing that they're coming in the same direction that we're going. I think to me there's nothing quite like a herd of elephants, especially with little calves, different ages that are learning. Roger, yes, actually elephants can be bothered by the weather. It would usually be the very hot days actually that bother elephants. You can imagine having such thick skin, 4 to 5 centimeters thick, very thick skin. And they're dark in color, to try and cool themselves down in such a big body is very difficult. So on a very hot day, elephants can't really do much, which can cause a bit of a problem because unfortunately with the size of an elephant, its digestive system is not very good. It's had to compromise to get that big. The digestive system is not nearly as good as something smaller like an impala, for example. So they constantly have to be feeding, putting something in so that there's a constant flow, because their digestive system is really poor in terms of half of the food more comes out completely whole, untouched. So on a very hot day, you can imagine if you're trying to cool yourself down, there's a few things you can do, but you'll have to walk pretty far to find water and mud in the dry months. And on top of that, you'd have to stand under a tree and flap your ears just to try and cool your body down. That being said, you know, we have seen elephants walking around in what we would consider extreme heat. But I'm sure above a certain temperature, even elephants wouldn't really be out and about. Most of the time, on a very hot day, you'll find the elephants kind of grouped underneath marula trees or something like that where there's a bit of shade. The babies underneath their mom's tummies, and often sleeping against the tree, just trying to keep cool while their ears are flapping. So that's almost the only weather that would render an elephant pretty stationary, as opposed to the constant moving and feeding that you would see on any normal day. Even in severe rain, they'll be feeding. It must be very hard to hide from the rain as an elephant. But I'm sure they enjoy it. It really does help with cooling them down. It would depend on the area too. Certain areas are much hotter and drier than others. scenario, no. There wouldn't be another main purpose for flapping the ears other than cooling them down. It's actually the thin skin on the back that helps them cool that down with the blood so close to the surface. It can serve as a form of communication in a sense, but that wouldn't be flapping. Flapping can, I guess, show that they're relaxed. But the only time that they really want to do a lot of body language with the ears is actually when they're upset with something. They make themselves look bigger by pulling them out. The rest of the time it's just flapping to keep cool. So there isn't really another function. I guess if you wanted to look at maybe some smaller things like, ox pickers and ticks, that would help as well. If you're flapping your ears, you're stopping any ox pickers and pests from really attaching to those veins that are so close to the surface. But I think that's more secondary than anything else. It's a very interesting question though, because I think it would depend how you look at it and how much research is done as well. I think there's always more research that can be done. The elephants were up on the ridge on my right. We started to curve down on the road. And the dam is kind of in front of us and just down a little bit. So I'm hoping that they are coming this way. I can see that there have been elephants through here. Okay. I'm going to keep going slowly towards the dam because I do think that's where they are coming to, the dams and the drainage lines. But while I do that, hopefully I get to find them, let's have a look at what Rexon is doing while he's looking for animals after the rain.
Welcome from Tessa with the breeding head of elephant. We are right here. We had just had this francolin making a lamb call, and it really attracted us to come and check around here what might be. We have drive in circle, but the francolin, if I keep quiet, you can hear it. I'll give you an opportunity to get the sound. I believe that it's a lamb call. This francolin spotted something. It was very loud. We're driving along the road and we can able to hear this francolin while the engine is running. Something that's very serious in the area. It might be something small because we have driven around hoping maybe it might be a leopard or something that, or a hyena. But you know that francolin can also lamb for slender mongoose, genet, snakes. If the snakes get active and spotted by the francolin, yes, they will lamb that, because anything that is dangerous for its life, it has to really signal that. And the reason why they're all doing this, because francolin, they are living in numbers. Once they spotted something in danger, they let the other individual members in that area or in their society that danger in the area. Same applies with the impala, same applies with all species. Once they get to see danger, and they'll give alarm. But I believe it's something small. It might be a slender mongoose. It's not serious because at the moment the sound, it comes from one position. She's not moving, or realizing if it does move, it might be vulnerable. And this sound, it attracted other species that are starting to come in the area. As far I can see hornbill, you can listen that call come to the Bachel's starling. They also responded. We have seen tracks look like a leopard in the course of a day headed east towards Spaghetti Crossing. While I'm still looking around here, I'm not going to specific go and look for pangolin, but really on the roads, all these roads that I'm driving today, I'll be really observing a lot if there's any tracks that cross from one side to another. If it happens, I will follow up. The reason why, because I know that today is a perfect day for all these creatures to start to get active and digging ants and all these termites that might be in a termite mounds. So they will be moving quite a lot in the area. So while we're still listening and looking around here, there's nothing much that I can see. Will we continue heading in an area where we have seen tracks look like a leopard head at the east, and we are going to check more towards Spaghetti Crossing to the east. I mean, the riverbed, of course, Molowati is more important after rain to check, more especially today. It's where you might find that an animal will cross from the east to the west, because Molowati riverbed is in the center of our property. Of course, if there's an animal that moves from the east and across to the west, they has to cross this riverbed Molowati, or the dry riverbed Molowati. Let's carry on. We've checked here, we don't see much what might be in the area.
When on safari, there's nothing better than an evening spent under the stars chatting around a fire, with the sounds of the wild all around you. If you sign up to be a WildEarth explorer, you can build your own memories by joining our guides for regular fireside chats. Subscription payments can be made by PayPal, credit card, and now bank transfer. WildEarth Explorers, it's in your nature.
There is clearly something in the vicinity around here that's drawn their attention. Yes, that meerkat in the tree is just the coolest of cool meerkats. But watch how he battles when he comes down. That would be like me climbing a tree, just better.
Hi, I'm Mike Anderson, and I come to you live every day from Eco Training Pridelands Conservancy in South Africa. The wild animal I think is most underrated. I think buffaloes are the most underrated. They're so tenacious and ferocious, and also very, very protective of each other, which I find incredible. You know, sometimes people think of the big five, they just think of lions and leopards and other big animals, but I think buffaloes are pretty underrated.
Catch up with the guides daily here on WildEarth.
It's a huge privilege to be in these incredible places with these amazing animals. I love filming lions. When they do get up and do something, it's always spectacular. When they are playing, are incredibly fun to watch, especially subalterns and cubs. I love being in the bush and working in these incredible places with these amazing animals. We want to bring it to you so that you can almost feel like you're right there and be able to experience it and enjoy it the way we are.
So I'm quite excited to be at Treehouse Dam. I've come around hoping that the elephants are going to pop out of that drainage line at the end any minute now. So it's that game of bated breath where you think they're coming here, they look like they're coming here, are they actually going to come here, or are they going to turn in a different direction when they reach the drainage line? It's nice and peaceful here though. There's a lot of birds calling, a few birds flying over. And I'm just waiting to hear some breaking branches and things as they get closer. Yeah, it definitely seems like the birds are a lot happier this afternoon than they were this morning with the lack of rain. Faith, yes, I'm loving the sounds of the bush as well. For a change this afternoon, it's nice to hear even the insects are making a noise because now they're warm enough. Let's have a listen. Hopefully we start hearing some larger movements sometime soon with those elephants, but these bird calls are incredible this afternoon. That was an elephant. I can hear them. That massive excitement that elephants build up when they're walking towards a waterhole. Darren and I were just talking about it. And they kind of get that swagger when they start seeing a waterhole. They get a little bit competitive, they get overly confident, and they walk with swagger. I'm really hoping we get to see that as they come down. Yeah, it definitely sounds like the herd is having a bit of a mini conflict on their way. I think they're all getting excited. So as wet as it is in the bush at the moment, there's puddles everywhere. Oh, it's definitely getting closer. The elephants are still very, very strict on which water they drink and that they have to drink every day. They need a lot of water to aid with digestion, and so this herd will make sure that they come down every day and they teach those little calves, like the one that we saw, what the best routes are to the water holes for every season. Very interesting. If you've ever watched an elephant, it won't drink out of a puddle unless it has to. Marlene, that is a very interesting question. Yes, they do actually have a hierarchy in terms of who can drink first, especially if you're looking at a bachelor herd of bulls. They will have a definite hierarchy where the biggest and most dominant bull will drink first, and if he gets to the dam and one of the other bulls is drinking, he'll actually push him out of the way and they might have a bit of a scuffle. Once everybody's settled, then they all tend to drink and swim at the same time. But it's always a bit of a scuffle in the beginning. With a herd, like the herd we saw earlier, what generally tends to happen is the matriarch will lead the way with her calf, and they're the first to arrive at the waterhole. And her previous calves will usually be in that front group as well, and then from there it'll be the closest relatives, so possibly a sister, an older daughter, things like that. But herds are usually a little bit more easygoing than the bachelor herds because the priority is making sure the babies are looked after. So any little calves in the herd must have water. They must learn to love water and use it. And so the herds with little calves tend to be more relaxed when they approach the waterhole and all tend to drink together. That being said, you will find if it is a very young calf, a female might get very protective and she might move away from the herd. Not because she's scared of the herd, but because it can get very boisterous around the waterhole and she doesn't want anything to happen to her calf that's still so small, and so she might move it off to the side with her closest relatives away from the rest of the herd. Almost sounds like there's some elephants coming from almost behind us as well. So they're probably communicating with each other. It sounds like it might be two separate herds.
Any update?
And they're possibly communicating and might meet up at the waterhole. definitely one thing that we do miss when it is overcast or cold weather. You can come to a dam and you might find the odd thing. It's more luck than anything, but as soon as it starts warming up a little bit, it becomes a little bit more in demand again. And so as soon as it heats up, you'll find a lot more animals coming down to the water holes, and there's just so much joy in watching them enjoy the water hole when it gets hotter. Just makes your heart happy watching it. At the moment, I'm literally just imagining these elephants coming down and all standing up along the side by side, drinking and splashing. Oh, now it's very quiet. So it's definitely more the birds that are making a noise now. That's absolutely fine. I'm going to be patient and stay here and hope that those elephants come down soon enough. But speaking of, let's go over to Rexon, who has some elephants of his own.
Welcome back from Tessa, from the head of elephant to another head of elephant. Listen, there's one male that gets in here, and the female shows they're not happy. Look at the youngster. It gets a little bit confused because of the trumpeting of a young male that gets within the head. Let's observe. So in this head, it's quite a lot of lots of youngster. I believe maybe in the age of around 4 weeks up to 8 weeks. Eventually they decided to move because the young male have came in and really caused a little bit of confusion from the youngster amongst the female, and they were all like running around. It's a very special animal, elephant. If you look at how they walk, the elephant's such amazing. If you look at the feet of an elephant, they have a thick pad and a very fat tissue that act like a shock absorber. You can see when they go, the tracks expand when it gets to the ground and retract back if they lift the feet as they walk. There's reason elephant that is so much silent when they walk. If you look at the feet, how actually does. It's such amazing. They walk tiptoes. You see, the all weight of an elephant, it balances on the feet. That's the reason there's so much silence. Very interesting. See, they're walking away from us, and we heard them from the distance. Quite a lot of trumpeting that is taking place here. More especially, it looked like the youngster, they needed time to nest. If we follow this head, maybe in a drainage line, they're going to be steady, because the youngster, it shows they're trumpeting a lot, and the mother has to stop. It's now time for the youngster to relax. Let us look at the two that are walking in front of the big female. Such amazing. We'll get more opportunity if we drive around. More especially, I would like to view the youngster. It's just amazing to see. Always the little ones are very cute to see them. More especially, catch them on the camera. Even if you see them by your naked eyes, get too close to an elephant and enjoy that. It's very, very amazing, more especially with the interaction of the youngster. Sometimes you tend to see the youngster coming forward towards the vehicle, intimidating the vehicle, trying to charge the vehicle. They are so much playful. They're so cute, like leopard cubs. So we're gonna follow them slowly behind and find an area where we might be able to view this youngster activity within the head. Thank you, Linda. We have comments from Linda. He likes the family element when it comes to the breeding herd and the youngster, the whole interaction. They're going towards Spaghetti Crossing and there is a sand there. In most cases, we want to see how the youngster are going to react, because most of the time the way they were trumpeting is to try to stop the mother, bring the attention the mother that must stop. Now it's time for us to nest. When we get to the point, we have seen one youngster very close to our vehicle, busy nesting from the mother. Sorry, sir, we have one bull next to these bushes here. It's trying to stop us not to move. You know that all the time the young bulls, they tend to be like intimidating quite a lot, more especially vehicles. They try, if they do this, try to come forward to you as they are more charging you. Don't run away, because soon you run away, you're giving them space of no doubt that they're stronger than vehicle. So it's in the nature. You might find that these young bulls that are related with this herd, by now they're not part of it. Now and then they might come and join and move out. They might totally not related. It's just a matter of they come across with the breeding herd in the area and join. Look at the behavior of the male. He's checking on the dung and keep on moving. Specific, he might be reading something, because this, look at that, between the two legs of the female is such amazing. We know that these guys on the nozzle, on the trunk itself towards the brain, they have so-called Jacobson organ. They sense everything that might be getting on the ground. If a female, she's on estrus, will get a trunk in between, immediate effect, breathe in and let the Jacobson organs read the status of an individual. We're really appreciating. We're gonna stay with this elephant for one more segment, more especially in the riverbed, cutting back to Tessa, which also have a breeding herd of elephant at Treehouse Dam.
So we have got an incredible sighting happening here. A massive herd of elephants has just come down to drink with some very, very young calves. And the noise is incredible. Look at that tiny calf. This little one still has no idea what a trunk is even for at that age. Oh, there's another little baby. That one's even smaller. Oh, that is a newborn. How adorable is that, trying to work out how to use the trunk. Oh, it even has to bend its legs to get close. That is amazing, tasting the water by leading down. That just blew my mind. I've only seen an elephant calf do that once before. So we've actually got another herd coming in behind us. This is just ridiculous. It's another whole herd coming in from behind. Baby's still down on its knees. Okay, the little one's almost falling on its face now. Is that not the cutest baby elephant you have ever seen in your life? It's pressed its whole face flat on the floor. And just like that, the herd is starting to leave. And the little ones are trying their best to keep up in the middle of the herd there. And there's a blacksmith lapwing that you're about to see on the floor. There it is. Oh my goodness, that little elephant is going to be printed in my mind for the rest of my life. That was unreal. So there's actually, it's quite ridiculous. We've been sitting here. We heard elephants in front of us in the direction that these elephants are walking in now. Elephants behind us where the second herd came from, and then elephants off to the right, which is this herd that I initially saw across the valley. Oh, this one's having a scratch. Must be quite hard to scratch through the tough skin when you're an elephant. Oh, listen to the rumbling. Yeah, there's definitely trumpeting in the distance. Jonty would love this. There's an elephant farting behind me. Okay, so there's definitely a lot of dynamics happening here. There's a few different herds talking to each other. There's a lot of trumpeting in the distance. And these elephants were quite decided on moving left. They heard the other elephants and they've changed direction completely. And now they're headed off 90 degrees further than they were. Oh my goodness, I cannot believe we saw that baby elephant putting its whole face into the water. Okay, so it looks like most of this herd is moving off into the brush. There are still a few more coming down, some stragglers right at the end, and a cheeky teenager running away. Oh, all of them are running away and farting simultaneously. Oh, I don't know what upset them. I think it was the trumpeting of the other elephant. And you can hear now they're all rumbling, so I'm definitely going to stick around and see what happens with this herd having changed direction again.
As a naturalist, it's really important that I stay up to date and up to breast with what's happening in the wild and the world around us. The WildEarth app helps us do that and helps us stay abreast with the live interactions of animals every day. We're going to be here at Stony Point bringing you the African penguin story, and we'd love to see you on the app. See you on the beach.
Cape Nature is the chief custodian of the Western Cape of South Africa's natural environment. This highly successful organization strives to conserve the province's natural heritage to ensure a sustainable future. Besides nurturing nature, Cape Nature offers an authentic ecotourism experience to local and international visitors. And one of these experiences is walking amongst the penguins at Stony Point, or as we know it, Penguin Beach. WildEarth broadcasts live from here every day and is very privileged to be partnered with Cape Nature, who have focused their conservation efforts here. If you want to visit these iconic black and white African penguins for yourself, then head over to our website to find out more. Cape Nature. Conserve, explore, experience.
So there we go, look. All three in one frame. Look at that, isn't that cool? Oh, that is so special. That is exactly what we had been hoping for, is all three of them to come together and make the perfect little family portrait.
My name is Lauren, and I'm currently working in Djuma Private Game Reserve here in South Africa. I love answering your questions during the live safaris. It's my favorite part. It feels like you're on the vehicle with me, and I'm able to teach you exactly what you want to know. If you want to ask a question on WildEarth, then you need to register on our website. Once registered, you must go to the live safari page and ask your question below the live feed.
There was definitely something interesting happening there. They obviously, I think the one teenager that was running initially got a bit of a fright from something, and as it came towards the herd for comfort, the herd kind of had a bit of a freak out session where they thought maybe something was coming, and I think everybody scattered. They all changed direction, stood around, and like ghosts, they are gone. You can't really even hear them at all anymore. This just shows you could arrive at a dam and there might be nothing here. There's no ripples left in the water, and we've just had the most ridiculous sighting of an elephant herd here. And this is it. This is the bush. This is the magic. It's unreal to think that not even 5 minutes ago it felt like mayhem and pandemonium, but in the best possible ways. And now all you can hear again is the birds and cicadas. And I can still hear some gassy elephants in the distance. Oh, I can hear more elephants coming from behind us again. Yeah. Here they come. Judy, a baby elephant is actually vulnerable to almost any of the predators. I would say the most likely would be either crocodile, which has been seen quite a few times before, where a crocodile has grabbed a baby elephant by the trunk, or lions would be the next most common. In fact, lions can take almost kind of adult or sub-adult female elephant size. I have heard of a leopard, a very big male, who used to prey on very young elephants, but of course that would be quite the rarity. That's like an extreme rarity over there. So I would say definitely more crocodiles. Even then they might let go. Unfortunately, they have often taken a section of the trunk with them. But the mom usually steps in to chase them off, and definitely lions. In fact, there's a pride of lions that is specialized in hunting elephants, and they go for sub-adults and bigger. It's incredible. It's quite a feat if you think about it. I love the sound of the water going into their mouths. Marna, a baby elephant will kind of start using its trunk from birth. It'll start sucking on it, and it sounds awful, but they fling it around because I don't think they quite know what this long appendage is on their face. It's an extended nose. There's more elephants coming. But what they actually do is from around 6 months, they can start using it for basics like, feeding and picking up small objects, scratching themselves, cleaning their eyes, for example. And so anywhere from about 6 months, they're starting to refine that movement quite a lot. Something is upsetting these elephants today. And then, up to about 2 years, they're actually still learning all of the basics. They can function it from 6 months or so, around that age, but they will still keep learning because you can imagine it's so complex with thousands and thousands of muscles. They can make it shorter and longer, they can make it thicker and thinner, and they can do all sorts of incredible things and pick up something very, very tiny, like a peanut size, as an adult. And we are back after all that action. I think everything just shut down a little bit. I'm so sorry that we went into a tech loop. We seem to have lost power again. But we are back, we're up and running. And it seems the birds are very excited about that. They are so loud at the moment. Really beautiful to listen to. So the elephants have moved off. We can't hear them at all anymore, but there was something that upset them. And we're wondering if it wasn't maybe the smell of a predator moving around after the rain. Maybe it was here before them. I haven't seen any fresh tracks or anything of a predator around, but I haven't gone to the other side of the dam yet, and the elephants were quite relaxed coming from the right-hand side to the left-hand side, but as soon as they got to oh, now I can hear them again. Sort of this left-hand side and a bit further, they got a bit upset. I think that's a separate herd that's coming from a different direction, that noise. So I just want to listen for a little bit and see if that's coming closer or not. If it's not, it might be worth going to have a look. What the elephant's upset about, it is coming closer. Yeah, those elephants are definitely coming close. I think this is the herd we heard first. That was very loud, their trumpeting. Okay, I'm going to wait here for 2 more minutes and see if these elephants come down to the waterhole.
I've always dreamed of Africa since I was a little girl. And then I just decided, you know what? It's time to come. It's time to just live the dream.
If you want to go on safari with a WildEarth guide, whilst honing your bush knowledge and of course featuring in one of our shows, then head over to our website.
It is so exciting. You're able to see the difference of what you see on TV to how much work it actually is creating what you see on TV. The leopards, mareeps. How could you not really fall in love with that cat? He's got such a personality, and you never know what he's going to do.
Sign up to be a WildEarth explorer, and you could be making your first ever on-screen appearance.
It's about just being together and seeing and enjoying the animals and the great outdoors. It's just been a great experience. Certainly, if anyone's able to, dare to dream and come.
Wildlife trafficking remains a growing problem in South Africa, and often made worse by the way the media portray this complex issue. The Wildlife and Environment Society of South Africa, WESA, have recently embarked on a program whereby they train reporters to better tell stories of wildlife trafficking.
In my community, wildlife conservation is mostly something other people do, and I would like to change that. My name is Iman Singli. I told people I met that the pangolin is one of the most trafficked animals on the planet. But what is a pangolin, they said? Why is it in danger? This is what made me decide that the pangolin story must be told. If we are to play a part in preventing the extinction of this animal, then we must all be part of the battle.
A partnership between WWF South Africa and WESA, supported by US Aid.
Hello, boy. You are a monster. And he's coming right up to us. Hello, boy. Oh, settle down. Settle down. He is very, very close. He's pushing his trunk against the car. You can feel the car moving. Hey, 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 hey. Stop that.
Expect the unexpected here on WildEarth daily.
Welcome back. We just stop here and try to listen what might be going on to our right. But all these Franklin have stopped. Look like it might be not serious. Let's carry on and head towards Nyala South Road. Maybe you might be lucky with the tracks. And looking forward, because I've seen these tracks, might be the leopard in the area. You'll never know in the course of a day what might be the leopard up to. Maybe she have made a kill or not. It's got a lot of activities of elephant around the area, on the road, lots of dung. Look like all species, they come out from hiding and are moving. And we really like that because it's how actually we might able to see more of game around in the area. If it's very cold and rainy, they tend to be like hiding away. So we are driving along this Nyala South drainage line. As you can see to my left, it's a very good area for leopard, of course. While driving here, you might get to see a leopard. Leopards really like areas like this. They need the riverine area, very thick area, easy for them to survive in this area because they're going to be difficult to be seen by other species. So then it's how actually they may kill easily. They're hardly seen in the area. They might hide here in Mpala Kudu, cross the drainage line, and the Kudu gets surprised by leopards. And of course, this area is a very well-known area. It's a very known location of a leopard. It's where Tandi, Moose, and Kalamba like this species. This area is where, Kalamba was born, actually, more to the south of the area. And Mariz also, he was born in the area. So all these leopards, they like the same area, Kalamba, Tandi, although Tandi have moved slightly to the east of an area. But I've started to Tandi a lot in the area in Kalamba. No tracks yet here, but I can hear something's going. We like that comment. We like to see lions also. We miss dark men, all of us. We don't know what happened. It's been a few days. All this Talamati pride, they're not showing off into our area. There might be furthermore to the west. Maybe in the area where they are, they have less competition and they try to settle on those areas, not to move back into the area. It might happen that the lions during the seasons, they move and prefer certain areas. In winter, they prefer certain areas. And we are aware that because we're in the conservancy of Juma, it lacks by buffalo during winter season because there is water. So all the species, when they migrate into the area like wildebeest and zebra and buffalo come from the north, it also attracts lions coming in the conservancy. So at the moment there's water everywhere. The lion find themselves in the easy life down to the west. So that tracks here in the area. But I just got information on the radio communication here, Game Drive North. Look like someone is having Tandi somewhere in Torchwood and very close to Gary Main. We might slowly, if we check few roads here, or if Tessa, she's moving, she might move on that area. Pretty much it could be eastern side of Chitakatlan, Molwanini on that area to the east. She looks like she's heading more south by the look of the thing. But we'll carry on and check the area. It might be a leopard that comes on that area, unless if Tandi decided to stay in Torchwood property. But she really likes across south quite a lot. Chito and that area, Chito water, furthermore to the west. Tracks that we have for leopard, I want to check one area here. If she yes, go straight to the question. Yes, it do happen. Elephant, I've seen it before, especially if it's experienced lion that tried to do that. Elephant are a lot more protective. They can, yes. They've killed one female, as far as I know in the collective history that I have. They do. Easily. You may find that sometimes an elephant might leave the youngster, and it happens that behind, and the lions come behind, but the distress call of the youngster, it might really spark the whole herd to come and help the youngster. If you are late to realize that the elephants are coming and surrounded you, the elephant are going to kill that particular lions easily, because it's not easy to run away from them. They do have trunk, and they can use that trunk. They are so well developed, the trunk. Of course, they can do anything. They can whip a lion easily with the trunk. One whip, it might kill a lion, of course, or fracture the lion easy on that way. And they can stampede the lion easy and tusk it through the tusk. It do happen like that. Lovely. While we're here, we'll be linking back to Tessa. She's on fire today. She's finding elephant. Elephant are everywhere. We'll continue checking the area where we think the leopard tracks must cross. Back to Tessa.
So it definitely seems like it is an on-fire day for elephants today. I think this is actually part of the same herd. I actually came around because they were still trumpeting. They were panicking quite a lot, and so I came around to the boundary just to see if there might be some tracks of a predator or something coming in that we may have missed. But they do seem like they've relaxed a lot now, and the rest of the herd is actually coming to join us, so you might see them crossing as well. Got them all around us, especially the youngsters. It seems that this is some young bulls together, actually. And I'm not sure if they're following a herd or leading a herd, but I haven't seen other tracks crossing, so possibly leading in front of the herd. Please excuse the bar from the rain roof, keeping us dry. You can hear a lilac-breasted roller that is calling consistently as well. Yeah, we definitely got them all around us. Let me turn for you, Darren. There seem to be more behind us than in front.
You want to turn around?
I'll just turn sideways for you. Just so that we can see them a little bit easier. Turn this way and hopefully we can see them crossing. So we are on the boundary road at the moment. But there we go, we can at least see them crossing. Oh, there comes the tiny calf right at the back. There in that back crowd. Have a look, you can barely see it above the grass. Oh no, there's elephants in front. There, you'll see it coming. There it is, right at the back. So tiny. That's throwing its trunk around. Definitely doesn't know what that's supposed to be. At that size, it's almost difficult for a calf to even reach its mother's nipple so that it can nurse. You'd never say that this was 30 plus elephants all walking at the same time. It's so quiet. And behind a termite mound they go.
They should cross here behind the
We're trying to get a shot of them in there, in that gap. So these are definitely much more relaxed now that they've moved further away from the dam. I don't know if it was the hype and excitement of the water, but something had them going. Definitely a lot of elephants. I can see another herd crossing now. A lot of elephants out today. Also a youngster in amongst there. Definitely seems that they're all moving in the same general direction. I don't know what it was that upset them. I think there might have been a smell of a predator, because remember, after the rain, when the soil is wet, all the smells are accentuated around the elephants, and their noses are incredible. They've got such a strong sense of smell. And so they might have smelled something they weren't happy with. And the whole herd picked up on that. They communicated and they got incredibly upset while they were moving. We could still hear them for another 5 minutes after they left in a hurry. And so we actually came around here because I was thinking maybe there's fresh lion tracks or something, that they might have interacted with the lion closer to the dam. And just like that, they're gone. Unreal. Okay, so I'm actually going to carry on down the boundary road here to see if we might find any track of anything coming in. Oh, excuse my hiccup.
Look at that, it's amazing. Wow, hey.
And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, live.
Oh, that's cool. Just in there.
And the black mamba's going up the tree and the mongoose is attacking it.
She's gonna pounce again.
Sure, you can all agree with me. It's not a bad start to our Wednesday morning.
Something that I have never seen before in my entire life that you are now watching live.
Look at that. It's just beautiful.
Fantastic display by a little herd of springbuck.
How is this view?
My heart is in my mouth, everybody.
Amazing, they've locked their tusks together. You can hear the cracking branches.
It is so incredible to spend this time so close to an African penguin, and it's completely unfazed by my presence whatsoever.
How insane is that animal?
Amazing.
Awesome. It is fantastic to watch.
Well, now we've got a tug of war between mom and daughter, look.
I'm just at a loss for words. That's just incredible to see that.
Welcome back from Tessa with the breeding out of elephant. I'm very much confident and hoping today it's a very good day. We might get to see a leopard up in the tree. You never know. But we're moving in the area very close to the British land now and then. Still believe that all species are active now. We might get to see even a rare species today. But of course, we're in an area here to the east of Mulawati. We might get to see maybe Shasha, Tsambo, Mariz, Tandi. It's possible because this is the area towards Chitwa where we are. There is always a leopard around in the area. And I believe more to the south, away from the center area of Kalamb, you may find all these young males roaming around in the area. Furthermore, to the central area, it will be a risk for them to go there because Mulawati, now and then he might go go on Central Road, checking there if there's no other leopard and try to push them. Even if these young males, the father by Mulawati, he will be more aggressive towards the den. He will try to discipline them going away. It's in the nature of the leopard they do so. There has to be away from the den. I've seen it before where dominant male father a young male, and it happens that the female had the youngster, the previous cub come close as male. He really whacks them, fight with them off from those areas and push them in furthermore into new areas. He can do that. Then they start to take care of themselves away from the mother's territory. We're in a very familiar area called Mamba Road. Mamba Road towards Drunkard's Back. We're gonna head towards Chitakatlan. I'm trying to check tree to tree if I can see any impala that's been hosted or grey decker hosted by a leopard in the area. Remember, during the rain, the leopard are more successful in the hunt. And that's the reason I'm so much really positive to see a leopard hosting kills in the surrounding. Lovely, I'll take the opportunity to answer your question. Thank you so much. Giving us a lovely question that gives us a little bit of opening of our minds while we're driving here about leopard. What age does the leopard start to host the kill? It differ, of course. If a leopard kills a scrub hare, it will manage in the age of 6 months. It will take it up in a tree. Around 10 months, it will manage to take grey decker up in a tree. Over a year, yes, of course, it will manage to take a baby impala or a 2-year impala up in a tree. Very easy like that way. So leopards, remember, they're built for strength to take a load up into the tree. They're not like cheetah, which is built for speed to run. So leopard by nature, sorry guys, sorry, I've just spotted something here. It's a tracks. It's now going opposite. This is very fresh tracks here. It's for the leopard. Very fresh tracks. Very good tracks. It's coming down here, heading our direction where we come from. But we haven't seen tracks from where we come from Mulawati. On that, it looked like the tracks as a young man. We'll be here, married, I believe. Let's try to see if we may able to follow. This tracks is coming from Torchwood and is going to the west. We'll be married, of course. We'll check Drankersbeck Drive. But we've been in the southern side of Drankersbeck. We need to check very carefully here. Tracks is coming here. Which direction this leopard is going. Look like more this side. Lily, thank you for questioning. Do I have a favorite leopard, Miss Jane? Yes, indeed, I do. My favorite leopard, it's one of the young men that recently get into the area called Tavang. Tavang, the second one is Monzo. It's a female leopard that operating in the east. Tavang is the leopard that comes from the south of our property in our neighborhoods. He's now become a territorial male to the north. Very good looking male, very healthy, and of course I like the way he looks. If you look at this rosette mark, it's such an amazing boy. The rosette mark looks like more jaguar. It's very rare, and he does, of course, very relaxed and more successful young male. His rosette mark are similar with Monzo. Monzo also have a beautiful rosette mark. It's one of my, there's a second leopard that I really love the most. Third one, Kalamba. I like Kalamba. Kalamba is very relaxed leopard. And for me, understand, we have in the area we have more leopards. We have lots of leopards, and the reason why I select these 3 leopards, it's all about behavior. Behavior of the leopard. It's a hyena tracks that male leopard, the leopard that walks there. It cut it more to Leopard Road in that area. You haven't come all the way down here. So the behavior of the leopard is the more important, because for me, if I find a very relaxed leopard that allows even trackers guide to track and easy to find, is the best leopard. I know that all the guides, if a leopard gets into their conservancy and not relaxed as far as Mlowati, it tends to be like not liked by most of the people, because you can't find that particular species if you try to locate it or track it around in the area. This young male, it walk here. I just want to check on a muddy drain if there's any tracks leading there. No tracks as you can see, so definitely I haven't seen tracks because I came from the west all the way down here. There's no tracks, and I went north, no tracks. So somehow the leopard have turned somewhere here. They might head it into the area. You never know. So we have to go back again, Leadwood Road towards Twin Dams. If the leopard keep heading more directly to the west, it's gonna come out in Twin Dams, Mulawati. Again, while we're still searching the area, we have no tracks at the moment, but I'm now predicting the movement of this leopard. We'll be linking back to Tessa. It might be still at the western sector of the conservancy, west of Mlowati.
The lionesses, we had Darkman, of course, doing his best to protect them and to catch a buffalo for them for dinner. But unfortunately, as soon as the buffalo came along, he hot-tailed in the opposite direction. No, we're having a fabulous time, and it's really been magnificent so far. Thank you.
BirdLife South Africa, our country's only dedicated bird conservation organization. They have been very successful in a number of areas, including the conservation of more than 150,000 hectares of grasslands and estuary habitat, saving thousands of albatrosses in trawl and longline fishing, and training community bird guides as ambassadors for nature in rural areas. Celebrating their official 25th anniversary, they are sharing 25 of their top success stories across their social media platforms. BirdLife South Africa is currently striving towards the conservation of 132 bird species that are heading for extinction. If we conserve birds, we will protect other biodiversity and important habitats that provide clean water and clean air for humans. Their work is forever ongoing. People who love birds can become a member of BirdLife South Africa or make a donation towards a bird conservation project.
Guys, just watch what's happening. See, watch the elephants, watch the lions. See, the first ones to run are the cubs. Can you see them? They are right here. I'm not sure how scared you were, but I was quite nervous. But absolutely incredible.
Expect the unexpected here on WildEarth daily.
So we've got, looks like that impala is very, very alert. You can see it's steering in the direction of the waterbuck. So in this open clearing, it allows the animals to see a bit further, but also to smell a little bit better because the wind will swirl a bit up from the drainage lines. And because of the rain, all scents are actually accentuated at the moment. Water in the air or moisture makes everything smell stronger. Now, we actually followed a very big elephant bull here. He left, he's in must, he's gone, and we couldn't keep up with him. But while we were trying to follow him up onto the dam wall, all of these impalas were steering in one direction, the waterbuck were as well. And there was a lot of alarm calling happening. The waterbuck looks a lot more relaxed than the impala, and I think that's because it's bigger, so it doesn't feel as threatened if it is something like a leopard. But what I am thinking is that possibly those tracks that Rexon has, he said they might be coming towards Twin Dams, Molwati drainage line area, and we are quite close to that, so I'm wondering if that leopard hasn't moved through here and they can still smell it. And that would be why the waterbuck is happy to lie down and chew, as opposed to looking incredibly alarmed. It is looking around just to make sure, but it's definitely not as alert as the impalas were. They were all kind of, you can imagine, standing on end. The worst weather I've experienced in Djuma, sorry I didn't quite get that name FC, but the worst weather I've experienced in Djuma, I think the last time I was here there was some pretty severe rain and some lightning, but it wasn't terrible. The worst I've experienced was actually at Ngala about 2 years ago, and that was quite a severe lightning and thunderstorm. The winds were, whole trees were blowing across the road in front of us, and the rain was so hard and the lightning was so bright. It was nighttime, or very, very dark anyway. And with the lightning strikes, it looked like daylight. It was so bright. And the rain was coming down so hard that I couldn't see 5 meters in front of my face. That was a terrifying storm. But here at Djuma, I think just some hard downpour of rain. It hasn't been anything terrible. I think I prefer a big thunderstorm and a big downpour to consistent days of constant drizzle, because that, it seems to affect the animals more. Everybody kind of goes into hiding, understandably, because it's so cold. But I also just prefer the atmosphere that a big thunderstorm gives after a very hot summer's day. You have a thunderstorm roll in, this massive downpour, and you can feel everything cooling down, and then it's blue skies again. It's It's very dramatic. I really enjoy that. I still feel like there's something here. I'm wondering if it isn't that leopard that Rexon has tracks of. So this waterbuck is busy chewing the cud at the moment. You can see it's not actively eating grass off the floor. It's actually lying down and chewing food that it has already eaten, just to try and get the digestion process going a bit more. I think definitely one of my most memorable, if you're looking at a waterbuck, if you're looking at one, the most noticeable and memorable thing for me is actually not the white ring on the bum or the white above the eyebrow. To me, it's actually around the nose. From this side, you can see the nose is the shape of half of a heart with white all around the muzzle. And when they look at you face on directly, the white looks like a circle and the nose is like a black heart right in the middle. So it looks like a circle sticker or a stamp. And it just stands out so beautifully as a perfect heart shape for me. You can actually also see how nice this waterbuck's condition is with its coat. Jackie, yes, chewing the cud is a voluntary process. It's not quite the same as our hearts just beating without us thinking about it. What animals have to do is when they have the time, so they know that they can sit down and relax or stand around for a bit, they will actively regurgitate all of their food, or at least a bolus of their food. And then they'll be able to chew it, swallow, and then bring up the next one. So it's something that they actively have to do. They have to regurgitate their food. And if you watch closely, especially, it's not so easy to see on this waterbuck because it's so fluffy around the neck. But if you watch on something like a giraffe, you can actively see the ball of food coming back up the neck. It's incredible to watch. It's something that you wouldn't really notice unless you're watching very closely. But you wouldn't see it on this particular waterbuck. You can kind of see the coat moving, but because they've got such a shaggy neck, you can see this female, her hair is a lot longer and thicker on the front of her neck than it is on her body. And that's because the front of the neck is the most vulnerable part of her. That's where lions will try and suffocate her and bite her. And so having a little bit of extra hair and skin there is a bit of a defense mechanism to try and make it a little bit harder to reach the trachea, which is the windpipe that a lion will crush with its jaws. She doesn't look like she's thinking about that though. She looks like she's daydreaming a bit. Okay, so I think what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to head a little bit further up along the drainage line just to see possibly where the elephant bull has gone, but also just to check and see that there's nothing in the drainage line that they have smelt that we haven't.
Hello everyone, my name is JP. I'm one of your WildEarth eco-training bushwalk guides. So for many years you've been watching WildEarth directly from your laptop or computer. However, now you can watch it directly from your connected TV, your Apple TV, or from your Roku box. And if you are like me, always busy, you can now download the WildEarth app and view it directly from your mobile phone.
For those of you who love to join us on safari here on WildEarth, we have some news.
This is incredibly exciting.
The team have trawled through the archives and found the very best of Safari Live from over the years.
Come and disperse it.
With locations such as the Masai Mara in Kenya.
You can see how close he is from where I am.
Tswalu in the Kalahari.
It is absolutely incredible.
And of course, Pinda and Ngala right here on our doorstep.
Listen.
We have hours of great entertainment that is now playing on our channel. Catch up with guides from the past and of course your favorite animal characters.
It's happening. I've never seen this before.
The best of Safari Live will be broadcast on WildEarth channel daily, so jump on board and join us down memory lane. Times for this brand new series are on our website.
Guys, have a look at what we've got. This is better than my birthday. Look at that. This is the first time that I ever see cubs this small. This is so special. This has officially just become my best sighting of all times.
Tune into WildEarth every single day. It's in your nature.
My favorite animal is a leopard, purely because I just think they are just the epitome of feline grace and power, and the way they can move about in any environment and remain hidden until they want to be seen, I just find incredibly intoxicating, and they're amazingly beautiful.
Catch up with the guides daily here on WildEarth.
Welcome back. We're still in the area, more or less, where we're hoping these young male tracks might come out. We have a minute and a half listening in the area. It looked like nothing much coming to the area. Maybe we just hope if this leopard walk past very close to the antelope or velvet monkey is where we might know exactly the location. It's very quiet. We can't hear even francolin, nothing, no fox-tailed drongo. Hornbills are very quiet in the area. He might be moving in a middle stream of the drainage land because it's quite a lot of cover. Let's carry on and see what might be ahead on us, maybe towards Molowati riverbed. Lovely comment from James Richard. Thank you so much, James Richard, to be part of the show. Really would like to see Shasha. You've been missing that beautiful boy. Yes, we all today we're looking around here. Most of our leopard, I don't think Shasha and Tembo, they will be completely away from the area. If I look at their age, they might still come in and out in the area where they used to, where they grew up. But if they turn like almost 3 to 4, it's where you find the leopard completely, it will move out of the space because it's where they are now becoming adults, and they might reach the sexual maturity, and they need to move out of the space of their mother and the sisters to avoid inbreeding. You see how wildlife can really, so much respectful, move out of the space of the sisters and their mother, because in most cases if they breed more like that, being related, it causes deformation. So they quite move out of the area. We have seen leopards that born in an area and able to stay and mate, and as a result, deformation take place. People that been here in 2007, way back 2005, you still remember a kinky tail? That's one of the result of deformation. So if a young male born in an area or dominant male, he has to move far from the space of their mother and the sisters and find a new blood and mate. We are about to reach Molowati riverbed, where we're going to drive in the middle stream of the Molowati and see if the tracks of a leopard have cut across to the west or what might be happening in the area. If not, we know that the leopard is still more to the eastern side of Molowadi. Lovely, thank you for your question. How do a lion and a leopard increase their territory? Since you establish the territory, you need to be healthy and strong, because survival of the fittest. If you're not fit, you're not able to increase your territory. So you have to fight other leopards in your surrounding and move and able to really move away from the spot. And as you fight them off, you'll take the same length of a previous male. And as you challenge another male, you'll extend that the previous male was. So it definitely is how actually, and the lion do the same, the leopard do the same. They're all like that way. You find sites or lion in general in the lion kingdom. There's reason you find that the lions, they form so-called cohesion. They multiples the males in numbers. And another males stick together or glue together and live in the same pride. It's where they challenge the other male. If two male born in the same pride, if they need to extend the number of males, or add a number of males while they're still young, there's still that room to add more males into their power. They will cohere with the other males, maybe 3 up to 6 males, and being 6, they're unbeatable. That's how actually they extended their territory, because when they come in numbers, intimidating to the unbeatable. So there will be no males being 3 or 4 that they can stand 6 males together. We are in twin dams here where we see quite a lot of general game wolves. To Tessa, which is heading east from the area. Maybe she might be lucky.
Oh, thank you, Rex, and I really hope I'll be lucky. So for now, it seems like I'm seeing a lot of grass and trees, which is great. Nice and green after the rain. Though Darren and I are actually just talking about what we think the next animal we see is going to be, the next mammal. So I don't know if anybody wants to take a guess at what it's going to be, other than the answer of impalas, because they are the most populous animal. What's the next best bet? I don't know. I think Darren thinks it's going to be a steenbok. I think it's going to be a kudu. We've had such a good afternoon on elephants already that I'm just in my happy place, bumbling. So I know Rexon is busy working the drainage line here on the eastern side of the reserve. So I'm actually just checking the far eastern boundary. I'm going to go quite a bit further north though, and then cut in through the middle part, just to see if there's anything along there. And that goes through quite a few different drainage lines as well. And on a day like today, could be worth it. Okay, so we've got a bet for wildebeest. That's a good bet. Okay. betting on this, but it's a good guess. Oh, yes. I think if we could include impalas and birds, doves are a good guess. Also lilac-breasted rolla, like Darren guessed. Janet, you want to see a scrub hare? You think the scrub hare is going to be next? Okay. Well, very possibly. It is getting late. Nocturnal animals are starting to wake up. Nobody's been bold enough yet to go with a guess like a cheetah, a leopard. Carla, you think it's going to be a nyala? That's a good one. We are approaching a very good area for nyalas where the drainage lines are nice and thick. Oof. None of us are brave enough to go with a big guess. Quite like this game. It's that anticipation. It's getting to me already. What is it going to be? I have one spot. I think that's the name. You think impala or hyena? I like the hyena bet. That's a good one. There have been a lot of hyena tracks around today. In fact, I think I actually saw the tracks of June and her little cub this morning, very close to Ribbon's den site. So they all still seem to be sticking around, which is very nice to see that they haven't actively avoided the area where Ribbon is. They also haven't had any interactions that we've noticed, so I think everything is starting to calm down. Giraffe girl, I like it. You think lions are going to be next. I think that's a pretty good feeling. I had a chat with Rex earlier, and I think it's about time that some of the lions came back. We haven't seen the lions here in over 2 weeks now. So I think that it would be very, very nice to see the Umkahumas or the Talamatis coming back, even Dark Mane. Apparently he's off to the western side of the fair. Ooh, actually, that's a good idea. I want to take this road. Let me change my mind. I think lions is definitely something on everyone's bucket list at the moment, Giraffe Girl. I think so. We're all craving a little bit of lion love here. Also just nice to catch up with each pride, see how everybody's doing, see how things have changed. When you don't see the characters for a while, it can have a bit of an impact. What are we going to see first? Maybe possible that one of us should have guessed leaves or trees. Definitely. I still feel like my bet is on kudus. But I do like the lion one the most. Lions and hyenas I like the most out of all of those guesses. I know what my mom would say. Hopefully not an elephant. Mom, if you're watching, we've seen lots of elephants today. My mom is a little bit nervous of elephants naturally. Susan, you've just commented more elephants again. That is fantastic timing. That is absolutely brilliant. There's a duiker. Oh. Oh, there it goes. Okay, so that settles it. None of us guessed duiker.
Yeah.
We'll have to go with the next one then. But that was fantastic timing, saying Oh, there it goes. Saying that we should try and find more elephants. I agree. I think we should find more elephants. My mom is definitely disagreeing. She loves them, but from a distance. Definitely from a distance. It's a fun game. We should play this more often. Well, considering Daika wasn't any of those guesses, I think the game is still on for now. We are in a very good area now, so guesses based around the fact that we're going through drainage lines, very thick, dense areas. So like the guess of Nyala, Daika would have been a good one. Almost more lush. Heat is picking up quite a lot, and this road that we are on is going to keep going through dense areas like this that you can see. And this is pretty perfect for most of the browsing herbivores, so things like kudus, giraffes, those animals, smaller ones.
Welcome back from Tessa with the beautiful grey Deka. We're back almost in the part of Mamba Road where we have been drive. Check if we might get to see the tracks of the leopard that we're following here. It looks like this leopard is playing seek and hide game. He doesn't want to be seen around in the area, but the tracks definitely, if we stay in the area like Tessa have done yesterday, maybe in the next 2 hours we might get to see this leopard. He might be still in the thicket. You never know whether he might have a kill or generally might be moving in the area. We have driven further east of the Mamba Road. We have been checked here, so we come in the area. Maybe we thought this leopard might turn around and come down towards There's no tracks here at all. Nearly, I thought I got a tracks. Is there hyena tracks? I believe the leopard might be. There's one section more to the left that I need to check. Cut across to Batalea. I think he might be hiding in the area. Yeah, he might be still in the area moving, and ahead on us I can see Tessa, which is she's helpful, and I want to thank to her letting us about the tracks from Molawati heading north. So it looked like we all want to see a leopard, definitely. Yeah, Tessa. Thank you. So really, we'll work the area. We have combined forces, which definitely it's useful. Try to move more. There's natural pine to the left, which I'm hoping maybe this leopard might go in that area.
Nothing beats sitting around a campfire at night whilst on safari, listening to the calls of the wild and chatting to your guide. If you sign up to be a WildEarth explorer, then you can enjoy this from the comfort of your home. Imagine hearing bush stories from your favorite WildEarth guide. and reliving their highs and lows of a life spent in the wild. Every month, WildEarth explorers will be treated to an exclusive fireside chat, special occasions, hot topics, and deep dives into the WildEarth characters.
Everything else is just welling up inside of you out in nature. You know, some people think I'm weird, but I have an absolute joy. I have a good time.
No, I enjoyed myself thoroughly today.
WildEarth explorers, it's in your nature.
The little one is up and about. Certainly hasn't had enough milk at this age. No amount of milk is enough. Oh, Corky. Too sweet. Oh, look at this. That is stunning.
Tune into WildEarth every single day. It's in your nature.
I am an outdoor photographer, a wildlife filmmaker, and a conservation storyteller. Penguin Beach is going to offer us this really unique opportunity to watch and pick up on the smallest of details in the penguins' lives. It's going to allow us the time to really get to know these penguins well, get to know their story, and get to interpret the little finer details and share that with you with a live TV show and get you to fall in love with penguins.
Welcome back. We are heading in an area where we thought maybe the leopard might come and drink water. There's no information. I've checked the edges of all these mud wallows. There's no leopard footprint. I believe he might be in the area. This is almost the area of Kalamba. Not far from here, furthermore, about 1 kilometer, it's a den. So the young boy have moved more further, a little bit more south. I'm thinking it might be Marid. I might be mistaken. Maybe Tembo, you'll never know. Or Shasha, you cannot tell. Because there's 2, 3 youngsters, they're still sub-adults, they're still living within their mother's territory, also their father's territory. So it's very common to come across with their tracks now and then. If not, they might on the kill. So I believe, as I was saying earlier on, it was very rainy this morning, and of course there will be kills made by leopards around the area. So most of the leopard, they might be on the kill, but as soon as the sun goes down, most of them, they might host the kill. Because it's time for hyena to get active. Hyena helps quite a lot. Thank you, FC. I would request to repeat the question. There was a lot of interference on my radio. I didn't get clear your question. Thank you. FC, a lovely question from Martin. I like your question, Martin. Thank you so much. Did Kalamba manage to hunt yesterday? Martin, as far as we know, but this is something that we just predict because our protocols in the sense during the day when we follow the leopard, we can able to witness what we can see. But once we close down, we cannot tell what happens because all these animals, they have their time to move vehicle. But after dark, most especially Kalamba with the cubs, we cannot follow her. And of course, she might continue with hunting, but we cannot know whether she's successful or not because we have time limit with these animals. We cannot stay with them for more than 4 to 5 hours when they are hunting, especially Kalamba having youngster. We want to give a chance for a leopard to hunt without any vehicle in their surrounding. So they have free time without vehicle. Around 7:30 when we close down, all of us, the animals, they stay free from vehicle. So she might continue hunting because it's something that happens in the bush. She might be successful on that area where Tessa left Kalamba heading towards the drainage line. So she might make a kill, you cannot know. But what we do now, there's reason we are driving along this road to check information. But we have seen tracks coming from the west, from the previous spot where Tessa found the leopard and headed east. So she might not on the kill, maybe this morning or during the day. We cannot confirm. Heading more north, more or less Gwari Central, in the vicinity of the previous den. In the previous den, maybe we'll have leading tracks from the den itself that we'll be able to follow. So this is my last result to come and check Kalamba in the area. We normally, if a leopard is not on the den, we cannot go in that particular area. We need to be invited by a leopard. If a leopard takes us to a den, one vehicle at a time, it can follow that particular leopard to a den. But if she's not in a den, we cannot invite ourselves to see the cubs because the cubs rely on their mother for safety. The mother becomes a big command. If we go there without the mother, if the cubs happen that they're out playing, get to see a vehicle, they might run away from the safety position, and where and that time they're more vulnerable. If anything gets them in the area, especially if it gets hit by a vehicle, they might go far from the den, and hyenas and other species, they might get to kill them. In that age, we have seen them very tiny, small. You know, I've seen a martial eagle down south taking a baby lions. Just imagine that tiny little leopard that we have seen. A martial eagle is very easy to kill a baby leopard and take it with it flow off from the area. So they have to be always in the thicket due to that, because they have lots of enemies around in the area while they're still young. Lovely. I'll take this moment to Anna Marie. Actually, it's a comment. Appreciate that we are taking initiative to go and find a leopard for the viewers, which is very good. Yes, of course, we're gonna check the area, And I have seen Tessa, we're almost in the same spot, same area, looking for a leopard. We joined the forces to try to cover the time. Of course, if tracks cross here, I'll let Tessa know that go and check Mulowati, Mamba, wherever I find the new tracks heading that direction. That make life easy. Then I will continue and find something around. Yes, of course. It's a very good combination. I really like it. We're going to find something. Again, we would like to thanks for all questions, and we'll be linking back to Tessa, which is more or less to the west of the position where I am at the moment. We know Guaripan Central. The Guaripan is a small pen to our very famous Guaripan, especially Tandi Denning in the area. Now and then we had the Guaripan, Guari Road. This is the old pen, which is really attracts species more to the east of our property, southeast of Befesuk Dam. And we're not far from
Unbelievably, Tlalamba is in exactly the same place where I found her last night, at exactly the same point in the drainage line where she disappeared. A little glimpse of the princess herself as she drops into the drainage line. She is still looking very thin, but I'm so excited to see her. I think it's fantastic that she is around. I'm not sure which side of the drainage line she's going to come up. At this point, it actually splits in two, so I don't want to move just yet. I just want to wait and see if we can see her coming up and which way she's going to go from there. How wonderful to see her again. She is definitely hunting. You could see she was looking very interested. Any signs of movement in this drainage line, and she wants to go for it. Right, let me see if I can get us a gap into the drainage line. Yeah, she's crossing over to the right again. It's the exact same place where I lost her last night. This drainage line is so thick. So she has already gone down. Try and just gently put my nose into this gap, but it looks like she is already crossing over, and you can see why I can't follow her here. It is literally the exact same spot where she was last night, and we lost her. And that is about as far as I can go. So what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to sit here. Oh, there I can see her. Darren, I'm going to try my best.
Go for it.
Oh, there she goes.
Go for it.
She's disappeared through the gap there again. Already on the other side of the bank where we can't cross. Okay, so on the other side, you can see there's quite a lot of trees there. There's thick forest. There is actually no road there, and the bank is
welcome back from Tessa with Tlalamba. I would really like to apologize. We have technical issue with the vehicle of Tessa, but we are right here. Guari Central still heading west. I would like to congratulate for Tessa. We're looking forward again. We're gonna head more to the west, trying to work around on that area where we have seen the tracks of Tavang woman this morning. Maybe we might be also lucky finding a male leopard, or check on the Karipepe Sukban. It seems like in the north on the radar they have Talamati Pride very close to Manyeleti boundary. It was very briefly on the radio communication, but they're all silent. It might the line cross into Manyeleti property at the moment. I don't think they're coming close by in the area. We would like to see all of us, Talamati, Dark Main, and all the rest. We really like to see the rest of Dark Main family. It's been sometimes in the area, not for them coming in the area.
That's my boy.
It couldn't be a better morning. This is just too special.
Wow, what a way to start off.
Bright colors, and it attracts the insect to the flower, which is exactly what we're watching right now. This is so exciting. There's two.
Hello, Mama. It's all good. Hi. Hi.
The smallest baby black-backed jackal I have seen in the wild. Look how full the belly is.
It is so incredible to spend this time so close to an African penguin. They just make me feel alive.
That is incredibly sweet. Grooming each other.
Play is vital. This is how they learn. This is how they would tackle prey.
There you go, there you go. There you go, there you go. Heart is pumping right now.
Look at this, everybody. We got a live kill. There's nowhere to go.
It's just such an incredible privilege to be out here. It just keeps on delivering.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, live.
There she goes, going for the youngster. She got it.
That's what I'm talking about.
Look at that.
It is insanely good footage.
Welcome back. I'm very excited, because we managed to find Kalamba, and of course, in the area where she is at the moment, it's also one of the best area to hidden the cubs. Previously, we have seen Kurula, Tandi, and more leopards hiding youngster on Pangolin track. There's a drainage line in the area called Flimos Deep that runs east-west, headed more towards Molowati. Very thick law, all Tambuti thicket of eroded area where the cubs can stay. You'll never know. I mean, she seems like she's moving every day. It could be, of course, you never know. It could be impact of hyenas. She's moving from one side to another because the hyenas, they're all over in the area. And once the leopard gets into an area where she's denning, it's very easy to get rid by the other species and know exactly. And remember, hyena will do that not just because of they know that is the cubs that living there. Sometimes it's to go and check why is the leopard going movement in the area. If you may find that a leopard might kill something big as far as Nyala and is not going to able to host it up in a tree, so that it will be a huge benefit. There will be some times where the hyena will go and hunt the cubs, of course, and wants to kill the cubs if they can scent and read that there is a cubs on that area. There's a leopard cubs. There's a lot of competition in the area for all these cats around in the area. Hyena wants to kill a leopard kills hyena's cubs, lions do the same. So all the time there's reason some of you who can really love to watch WildEarth documentary, you can see from this well-known documentary called Internal Enemies, with hyena and the lions competition. It's all about, you can see how these species don't go along. They really hate one another. But I'm very surprised sometimes with the hyena and the leopard, because it seems like in sometimes you might find a hyena and leopard feeding together the same kill. I've seen this in the early 20s for my first time. I didn't believe, I mean, when that bush wild, I was like, no, that cannot happen. 3 spots had killed a kudu in front of Gari Dam, and he was feeding with the hyena together. No fight, at least for a day long. We're right here at Befesuk Dam. What can you see?
Get any vision of them at this stage.
What we can see here is a single hippo. The hippo is back. I know that the hippo here is given a name. I don't know about the name, whether it's Darrell or who's the name. But I know in WildEarth, the hippo, the male hippo that is always Befesuk Dam, it has its own name, and which is really amazing. We have game drive vehicle coming ahead on us. We have
Right, so I've managed to find my way into the drainage line. I'm currently sitting on the other side of it where she crossed. And you can see how steep it is and why it would be such a difficult area to make your way into. So what I'm basically doing is I'm just sitting and listening at the moment, because there are so many hiding spots. The banks are so steep, and the time it took me to get into the riverbed, she's probably left the area again, continuing with her hunt. So we just want to listen, because birds and impalas would be a very good giveaway of her position. So for now, we're just sitting on, it's almost an S bend in the drainage line, you can see there. And where she crossed is from these bushes on the right, from this bank that you can see there. That's a squirrel alarm calling. I think she's behind us somewhere. So what I think she is doing Mikhail, you are most welcome, and I'm so happy that you are loving the drives. I know they certainly kept me going through our hard lockdown here in South Africa. I think they did that for many people for years before as well. I'm very happy that we got to see a glimpse of Tlalamba. So I think what she's done is she's kind of, it makes the most sense that she's been crisscrossing through the drainage line, because that's exactly what she did last night, and she's using the same routes over and over. So she's got her favorite hunting grounds. And Tlalamba is very well known for having a routine. She likes the areas that she likes. And so I think what she's done is she went up onto the bank. She had a look down that we saw, and then she went down into the riverbed where it splits into two. She does a little bit of recon almost. She studies the area, and then she crisscrosses from bank to bank, moving up the drainage line. And unfortunately, I can't follow any further up this drainage line. It's too narrow. And it just seems to be one of her favorite spots. Absolutely. So I'm keeping my radio on if you can hear the chatter in the background, just in case. I know Aubrey is in the area, in case he finds her. But my plan from here is, if we haven't found her in a few minutes, if there's still no sign of her in this drainage line, because it's so thick, it's honestly, I mean, she could be right in front of my face and I wouldn't know it in this drainage line. Then I'll just head around to the other side and just take a slow drive back up towards the central parts. And from there, if we haven't found her, she's on a hunting mission. I don't want to disturb her. And so then I will just go back towards maybe Vuyatela Dam area. Tlalamba is probably one of the biggest female leopards that I've seen. And I mean, you could see when we saw her there, she's absolutely stunning. Her spot pattern on her sides is so geometric and bold. It stands out, and she's got this stunning face. To me, she is the perfect combination of size and elegance. Yeah, it is very peaceful now. There's no sign that anything is suspecting a leopard is close by. Oh, that's a tough question, Faizan. I'd say on an average, well, I think you'd actually have to take the average over a pretty long time. The Sabi Sands is very well known for having the highest density of leopards. Some days, however, we see none. So it depends on the season, it depends on the particular reserve. I would say if you're anywhere in the Sabi Sands, on average, you would probably see at least a leopard a day, even if it's just a glimpse of a leopard. But I mean, sometimes you might see 5 or 6 in a drive. It just depends. Here at Djuma, if the leopards are on the move a lot, like Tlalamba, we've now seen her 4 days in a row, pretty much 3 or 4 days in a row. We know that she's resident, she's territorial, she's working through the area with her hunting and her cubs. And so, we might see her every single day for the next while. We don't know. But in terms of other leopards, Molwati is here all the time, and we hardly ever see him. He's known as the ghost of Djuma for a reason. So I think it really just depends. For me, my average is probably 1 every few days because of the way that the weather has been at the moment. But I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to slowly head back into the drainage line and just take a little cruise back to the crossing. And from there, I'll head off towards the dam.
Do you dream of traveling to a far-flung wilderness location where life continues as normal? A place where you can escape to nature and breathe. If you become a WildEarth explorer, then this could soon become a reality. Subscribe today and stand a chance to win regular travel prizes. WildEarth Explorers, it's in your nature. Cape Nature is the chief custodian of the Western Cape of South Africa's natural environment. This highly successful organization strives to conserve the province's natural heritage to ensure a sustainable future. Besides nurturing nature, Cape Nature offers an authentic ecotourism experience to local and international visitors. And one of these experiences is walking amongst the penguins at Stony Point, or as we know it, Penguin Beach. WildEarth broadcasts live from here every day and is very privileged to be partnered with Cape Nature, who have focused their conservation efforts here. If you want to visit these iconic black and white African penguins for yourself, then head over to our website to find out more. Cape Nature. Conserve, explore, experience.
This warthog is in big trouble. He's got elephants all around. What are you going to do there, big guy? What are you going to do? Oh, he's pretty brave though. Oh man, he's not even moving. Look, that elephant is trying his best, but that warthog ain't budging. That's madness. That's so funny. And we have a winner. The warthog wins the standoff.
Expect the unexpected here on WildEarth daily.
My name is David, and I love being a cam op because you get a front row seat to all the best sightings that WildEarth has to offer. Sharing it with everyone else, well, that's a perk too. What makes the WildEarth experience magical? Well, it has to be the fact that it's live and interactive. The sighting that'll be ingrained in my brain for life, watching a lioness kill 3 wildebeest during the migration in the space of about 20 minutes. My spirit animal, that has to be a monkey.
Welcome back. Really, I would love to move in the area of the boundary. A little bit promising because the guys have spotted a single lioness not far, less than a kilometer to north. From where we are, it might be 500 meters to the north, Jacana area, and it's more moving to the north. But it's not my first time. I've seen that purple eye from Delamati. She looked like she's not connecting with the rest of the pride. She's always alone. So the pride themselves, they move different directions. She moves at her own direction. So she might happen she's staying behind them or trying to avoid the rest of the pride, because in between Telamati pride there is breakaway pride at the moment. They are with the S8 male, the other females, which are 3 of them. So in between the two, the purple eye, she's moving from the Sapaldart to the S8 male with the 3 female. So you might find that because it was raining, the rest of the pride, they're not far, almost the area where I'm driving, because she was literally coming from the south and headed north with Jacana. Cross a fly, when we get to the Perfect sign, it might be less than 400 meters where they find the lioness heading north. So that makes me come and check around the area, not with rush, maybe around Sydney's Dam or that area. We struggle with signal, of course, but we'll be slowly checking on that area if there's no evidence of the rest of the pride. We're in the area, of course. We have to look here. Maybe we might find tracks, but we'll be linking back to Tessa. She's just like at some vultures, which it would be very good if she look out. Maybe it might be kills around in that area.
Absolutely, Rex, and I'm hoping that this will give us a good indication, maybe, that there was a carcass close by. We have got a massive white-backed vulture up at the top of a dead tree, and this is maybe 50 meters from where Tlalamba crossed the drainage line. And if we're looking at her habits recently, it seems as though it's been lots of very consistent small kills, scrub hares, impala lambs, things like that. And a vulture would be following any sign of a carcass. So even if she caught something here yesterday, for example, if it was a small meal, she would have eaten it and moved off, and now she's back again today, and the vulture may have been down here in the drainage line feeding on some remains of something that she may have caught in this area last night. So this is quite a nice find. I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me, I'm so sorry, everybody. Thank you. This is quite a nice find because vultures, first off, are endangered. And so it's always fantastic to see a vulture. But in terms of being in the area with the predator, it's always encouraging when you find a vulture very, very close by. And knowing that she was here last night, for me, is an indication that I think this vulture is here for a reason. So possibly she had the remains of a carcass somewhere close by. Maybe the hyenas came in and took it. But the vulture definitely was hanging around for a reason. It could very well be that I could be completely wrong and this vulture could be roosting here for the night. But to me, it's just a little bit too coincidental that it's right here where Tlalamba has been. Vultures have incredible eyesight, although you can't really see it so well with the silhouette. This vulture will have such good eyesight that it'll be able to follow her moving from flight. So, Donald, vultures will locate... Wow, there's some oxpeckers that are really not happy. The vultures will locate their prey using eyesight predominantly. So while they're flying, they actually catch something called thermals, which usually come up from areas like riverbeds. And so they'll spiral up, and then they soar at very, very great heights, and they've got excellent eyesight. So what they'll be doing is they'll be watching for any signs of blood or a carcass, any signs of hyenas moving in a consistent direction, or predators. They can also listen for things like alarm calls or the sounds of crunching bones. And then on top of that, probably one of their biggest indicators is something like this white-backed vulture will actually be on the lookout for a hooded vulture. Hooded vultures have the best eyesight and a pretty good sense of smell. And so what they do is they're normally the first ones to arrive at a carcass. They've got such good eyesight, they'll see it first, they'll come down, and this white-backed vulture will then be looking for anywhere that the other vultures are landing and find the carcass like that. Vultures won't actually go and do any hunting on their own. They will only eat carrion, they'll only eat already dead meat. And that's why they look a little bit different to eagles in their structure, but also even just their feathers and things like that. Everything looks different. Isn't it beautiful down here in the drainage line? So watching a vulture and seeing and hearing so many other birds. Be Lacquer, nice to hear from you again. Vultures are on the endangered species list because they are used in traditional medicine, for one. So things like their beak, their feet, their eyes, sometimes even their brain, as horrible as that sounds, is used in traditional medicine. It is believed that the vulture is a bird that can see the future. And so because they're always so high up and you'll constantly find them, basically the tradition says that if you see vultures flying over, there will be death on the ground. So the vultures knew the death was coming. And so it's believed they can see into the future. So unfortunately, they are used in traditional medicine. But a lot of the time, it's actually just humans and other senses. So habitat loss is currently the biggest threat because we are not conserving enough wild areas. And so vultures are starting to stray over places like farms, and a lot of vultures are then actively poisoned as well. People will have an animal that dies, they will poison it or poison the carcass, put that out, and the vultures will come down and feed and then die. And it actually doesn't make sense because vultures are not a threat to any livestock because they don't do any hunting. So it's quite frustrating to hear that they are poisoned and they're actively killed. But the biggest threat, other than climate change, which is a threat to everything, is people, habitat loss, traditional medicine, and poisoning. There's actually incredible conservation projects at the moment called vulture restaurants. So just to answer that, it was definitely Tlalamba. I did have that confirmed by Aubrey as well. You could see it from the geometric, very bold patterns on her side and her hanging teats again, her hanging mammary glands. So it definitely was Tlalamba. I would love to see Thandi though, that would be wonderful. But this is definitely the area of Tlalamba, and I do feel very confident in that saying that it is Tlalamba. But there's very cool projects at the moment called vulture restaurants where people are trying to encourage vultures back into natural areas where they have been poisoned out or killed. And basically any spare meat that is around is put in specific places and the vultures are attracted and then hopefully will nest somewhere close by if there is a consistent enough food source. So different conservation projects happening in different places at the moment. Very, very nice to see this vulture relaxing though. A little bit of preening going on, making sure the feathers are in line. And I think it probably will end up settling here for the night, that nice big open branch with a big enough gap for the wingspan. I've seen many a vulture fall out of a tree because it landed in a tree with leaves and could not get enough space to lift itself off again. Okay, so I'm going to start taking a nice relaxed little bumble back towards Vuyatela Dam area, just along the drainage line, see what else we can find. But I'm so happy that we got to see our leopardess and a very fancy looking vulture.
If I could take you on safari all day and all night, I would. But unfortunately, it's not always the best time to see the animals. Now, in between safaris, you can watch the WildEarth channel with loads of extra shows. If you have a connected television, Apple TV or Roku box, then download the WildEarth app, and if not, then just find it on the App Store on your phone.
Wildlife trafficking remains a growing problem in South Africa, and often made worse by the way the media portray this complex issue. The Wildlife and Environment Society of South Africa, WESA, have recently embarked on a program whereby they train reporters to better tell stories of wildlife trafficking.
In my community, wildlife conservation is mostly something other people do, and I would like to change that. My name is Iman Singli. I told people I met that the pangolin is one of the most trafficked animals on the planet. But what is a pangolin, they said? Why is it in danger? This is what made me decide that the pangolin story must be told. If we are to play a part in preventing the extinction of this animal, then we must all be part of the battle.
A partnership between WWF South Africa and WESA, supported by US aid.
This is incredible. Looks like vivid monkeys do sometimes go for swims. I heard something splash, but we couldn't see what it was in the long grass. Now I just saw that thing swimming there. This is incredible. I hope it gets to the bank. There are crocodiles in this dam. And it looks like, see that monkey climb up into the tree? Wow.
Expect the unexpected here on WildEarth daily.
The bushhawk feed allows the camera person some creative license. This is my favorite style of shooting. You have to be mentally and physically prepared. You're shooting handheld in some very strange and contorted positions, always with a straight back, often in the squat position, low to the ground. The creativity comes down to the relationship and sync you have with your presenter. The more you understand each other, the more you'll be able to tell the story seamlessly.
Welcome back. We are back in the area of Gary Dam. I know that Tessa, she's planning to come down here also, but look like it might be something going around in the area. We just had a radio. Someone was calling for a leopard that moving in the area. Look like hunting impalas. I'm not sure whether it could be the direction where we're going or opposite direction. But we'll work around towards the Batalia nest and also towards quarantine. If it's a leopard, it might be in this area. It could be Tandy, you'll never know. All the way down from the Twin Dams, Chelapan, and they've moved up to so far, but I doubt it might be another leopard that is they've come in the area. We're witnessing a kill in front of us. The lilac-breasted roller. And I can see ahead of us here there's Impala looking direct, but we have a beautiful coloring species, of course. Lilac-breasted roller have a wonderful colors. It's really one of the most beautiful species, more especially in the right time of the day when the sun shines. You look at the colors, such amazing. Our neighboring country, Botswana, this is a national bird for Botswana. Due to how it looks, because it have multiple colors on it, and it's such a beautiful species. The lilac-breasted roller doesn't migrate in the area. They stay around in the area. With all season we have them. Now is breeding time for lilac-breasted roller, as far we know. Yes, of course, I would like to really know exactly which direction, if we can respond. But of course, we don't mind. We can move furthermore to the west, and Tessa might join. It's a lovely bird. But behind us, okay, let's move. We might get a position right now. I would like to thanks for Tessa. We are going to join. It looked like Haina Road West. Okay. Lovely. It seems like Tessa got in there. We're gonna continue looking for Tavang in the west. I had there's also another vehicle in the area where Tavang was this morning. Still checking around there. Such amazing how the leopard spotted from Chelapan. Oh, lovely. Thank you, FC. It's such amazing. If you look at the distance, Tessa just had Sandy not far from where we are, about 10 minutes, 15 minutes ago. And the leopard now, she's more away, far as Haina Road. She moves a lot, and very fast in a very short time of a space. We're gonna head that direction and join the guys. But I was moving in a drainage line. I have a breakup on my radio communication. I only had what is my best leopard in the safari, if I'm not big. Oh, lovely. Thank you so much. Yes, thank you so much. Someone who, it seems like, knows the property and knows the leopards very well. Been in the area or following Safari Live for many years. Asking question about Safari female, mother of Karula and Tandy. Yes, the best memory that I still remember, it's when Safari female protecting the calves. I don't know whether the sighting is here. I doubt it might be more to ahead on us. We have no signal on that side. When Safari female protecting the calves from Mafufunya. Yes, it was such an amazing day. Remember, there was a time when before Mafufunyan gets here, Jordan's was the dominant male. And Mafufunyan came from the west and got into the area and challenge the Jordans in the area, try to push Jordans away. And really, there was a fight. A big fight to Safari female, and by that time Safari was having youngster, and Mafufunyan managed to kill one of the youngster, and the other youngster managed to escape. That is my best memory of that Safari mare, the old female leopard of Sands. We have Tessa here. Of course. Lovely. You're a star. Thank you. We just drove past Tessa. We're gonna head and join the Kalamba sighting, which is not far from the point where we are. They're talking about the road on our left-hand side that called the Hyena Road. I don't know whether we'll have signal or not. I believe she might be coming more this side or heading away from us. We'll be linking.
When on safari, there's nothing better than an evening spent under the stars chatting around a fire, with the sounds of the wild all around you. If you sign up to be a WildEarth explorer, you can build your own memories by joining our guides for regular fireside chats. Subscription payments can be made by PayPal, credit card, and now bank transfer. WildEarth Explorers, it's in your nature. BirdLife South Africa, our country's only dedicated bird conservation organization. They have been very successful in a number of areas, including the conservation of more than 150,000 hectares of grasslands and estuary habitat, saving thousands of albatrosses in trawl and longline fishing, and training community bird guides as ambassadors for nature in rural areas. Celebrating their official 25th anniversary, they are sharing 25 of their top success stories across their social media platforms. BirdLife South Africa is currently striving towards the conservation of 132 bird species that are heading for extinction. If we conserve birds, we will protect other biodiversity and important habitats that provide clean water and clean air for humans. Their work is forever ongoing. People who love birds can become a member of BirdLife South Africa or make a donation towards a bird conservation project.
Our bodies are made up of about 60% water, which means that in a very short space of time, you can dehydrate completely. A relatively efficient way of collecting water early in the morning is to take an absorbent material like a sock and to walk through the grass, absorbing the condensed dewdrops on the grass. Once the material is saturated, you can then squeeze it out into a container, or you can suck it out directly into your mouth.
Hi, I'm Mike Anderson, and I come to you live every day from Eco Training Pridelands Conservancy in South Africa. The wild animal I think is most underrated. I think buffaloes are the most underrated. They're so tenacious and ferocious, and also very, very protective of each other, which I find incredible. You know, sometimes people think of the big five, they just think of lions and leopards and other big animals, but I think buffaloes are pretty underrated.
Catch up with the guides daily here on WildEarth.
We're right here. We just want to stop and welcome everyone. We joined to the sighting. I'm not sure whether it's Kalamba yet at the moment. I still have to check, but it looks like she's up to hunting. There might be something that is more interested ahead. This is the perfect environment for leopard to hunt. Of course, they might hunt something small, grey duckers or impala. We never know. We're not yet seeing clearly what you're up to. If it's Kalamba, yes, of course, I might be really getting amazing how she can move so far. She's really more to the west of here, western side of the Molowati, Chelapan, Pangolin track, and she's now in Hyena Road heading west. It's unbelievable. It tells how leopard they can move so fast in the area, most especially if a mother has to feed the youngster. She has to be always hunting and make sure she's successful and return back to the kill without wasting time, because it can be more species, of course, that might be really like to visit the den, or before even the youngster get to move out of the den, out of control, just because the mother is not returning in an early stage when they need to nest and also feed. Let's move. It might be her. I just want to position our vehicle clearly. She's moving north at the moment, which I would like to go ahead. Kalamba. 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 Huh? Yeah. Amazing. Not Kalamba. Yes. Tandy. Another leopard. This is Tandy. It's not Kalamba. Very old female, you can see. I had a question this morning about Tandy. The question was all about she's going to have another offspring in the area. Then I also tell you that it will be depend if the physical health is good, yes, but if not, she's not. This is the mother of Kalamba, Tandy, one of the old female we have in the area. I believe she will settle down, guys. She's just moving in the thicket, but I was just worried the distance that between where Tessa have found Kalamba and I measured the distance up to here that Kalamba, she can walk so far. Like, I was not really believing on that, but that tells me that this leopard has been in an area in a den of Kalamba, because it looks like it's coming from the east headed west. Sorry guys, this leopard is moving in a very thick area. Just want to reposition ourselves. As I'm positioning myself, the leopard is moving towards my direction. Let me go ahead. Yes, I'm also happy seeing the old female here, which means remember the tracks that I told you, Maries, from the Waripan Central, that reveal the occurrence of identifying that tracks. If Tandish is here back into the area, there's no doubt Maries is also in the surrounding. Tandish still hunt and make a kill and invite Maries into the kill. That is general how the mother behave in the area. The parental care of youngster, mainly the female, they're taking care of the youngster. So Maries, it might be in the area where we lost her tracks, headed towards the west between the Batalia Road and Mamba Road. So we follow, we would like to follow her. It's not an easy area. Quite a lot of yellow monkey, sparky orange in the area, which sometimes they're very tough to drive over. But we still have this view of the leopard. Love it, thank you. Auntie Christine, here's great comment. It's really exciting to still see the both leopards in the area. We're all happy. Once at the stage, we were like, oh, Tandy, she's no longer in the area, but that tells that Tandy is still around here. And today we find Tandy. Normally, she's around more to the east, and now she's back in the normal territory of Tandy. So in most cases, female leopard, if it does have offspring, if one of the offspring is a female, what's going to happen? You might find Tandy, Kalamba in the same area. A week ago, they find Tandy heading towards Kalamba's den. and walk past on that area. She never showed any aggression with the cubs, something that is very special. Sometimes we cannot even read that from the book. It's something that practically you'll get it out here when you follow these species. It's not always that the two leopards, if they're related, they have to fight. I've seen leopards with the previous cub and join on the kills, at the kills around if one of the offspring or mother make a kill and joins together without fighting one another. It might be still the same, because Tando was seen last week walking past Kalamba's den, and she didn't show any aggression on that area. At the moment, she's still in the area where she have introduced Tandy to be around in the area and take over as a dominant female, and she moved less slightly more to the east. So it do happen quite a lot when the females, when the female have a youngster, she will share a part of her territory and hand over to that particular female. So the female itself, it up to her to extend the territory or boundaries of her area of hunting. And that you can see is where you find that the young female has to overlap to the other leopard's territory and manage to stay on that particular area. So what we see here, Tandy, this area where she's at the moment, it was a territory of Kurula. And even today, Kurula or Tandy, she's still at her mother's territory. So that means it will carry on. She inherited from the mother. That means Kalamba also inherited from Tandy. Tandy, if she move out or if she die, Kalamba she'll still a dominant female in the area. Even Kalamba's cub as a female to still utilize the same area of her mother. This is something that passes on to the generation to the next. You do see sometimes new leopards in the area that overlap in the area. That is nature. It's all about survival of the fittest. If Tandy, she's losing a new female, if it gets in the area, she'll overlap in some of the Tandy's territory. Easy like that way. Wow. Beautiful. That reminds me, all the leopard safari, Kalamba, Tandy will be looking back to Tessa. She looked like she spotted something and see what Tessa have. Look like she just spotted something ahead. She's about to pounce. You can see she's in a position that she can jump over to the species. It's the nature of a leopard. Once they get to spot something, they come close. Look how ready it is. She's gonna fire. Yes. What might be there? It could be bunting quail or something small. Let's go. She just missed. But it could be francolin or bunting quail or something fairly small. Such a difficult area to drive here. Try to drive slowly until we get out of the area. We'll be linking back to Tessa while we trying to get out of the area.
Rex, and I hope you can get yourself out of the jam there. So you can't tell right now, but there is a massive elephant bull just behind this bush. He just so happens to be hiding incredibly well. And I can't hear if he's walking or not. I don't think he is. You can see some movement. Amazing. So he's actually a very, very big tusker. He's got some beautiful tusks, and I'm hoping to show those to you, giving Darren a bit of a challenge here. But I'm going to try and move a little bit forward, see if we can see him. Unfortunately, at this position, we might only see his rump, his rear end. He does look like he might be in must at the moment. Oh, there we go. All right. Looks like he might be in must, but have a look at the size of those tusks. He is massive. So in fact, this is the exact same bull that we tried to follow earlier, but he was moving so fast that we couldn't keep up. And he was on the southern boundary of Djuma. We're now basically almost back at camp. That's the area we're in. We're in the northwestern sector. And he's moved that far in just over an hour. So his tusks are actually unequal lengths. This is the longer of the two, and you can see it's beautifully white. The other tusk is thicker and shorter. It's chipped off, and it's quite a lot yellower as well. There you can see it. Thicker, shorter, and yellower. Oh, not particularly camera ready today. So I can tell you that I can smell him very, very clearly, so I now know he is in must. It's a very strong, spicy, sweaty smell. And you can see from, kind of watch as he goes through the gap, his temple. Oh, is there a gap? Possibly not a gap. Okay, let me try and move. So I obviously don't want to go too close to this boy. I want to give him his space. But you can see on his temple he is leaking quite a lot of fluid, and if you look closely, there's a nice gap. If you look closely, you'll also see that he is dribbling fluid from his penis. So there's a penile sheath, that's where the penis is encased in between his back legs, and as he's walking it's a constant dribble coming out, and so that is a very, very big indicator that he's very heavily in must. You can see that he looks quite calm, other than the fact that he doesn't want to be on camera at the moment. So I think what I'll actually do is just head back to the road, because he's heading down into the drainage line. What an honor to see such a big tusker right here. And as it's starting to rain, what are the chances? Very cool to know that he was standing right here when we first spotted him. I am now where an elephant was. So I'm going to head back to the road and see if I can get you another view.
As a naturalist, it's really important that I stay up to date and up to breast with what's happening in the wild and the world around us. The WildEarth app helps us do that and helps us stay abreast with the live interactions of animals every day. We're going to be here at Stony Point bringing you the African penguin story, and we'd love to see you on the app. See you on the beach.
For those of you who love to join us on safari here on WildEarth, we have some news.
This is incredibly exciting.
The team have trawled through the archives and found the very best of Safari Live from over the years.
Come and disperse the...
With locations such as the Masai Mara in Kenya.
You can see how close he is from where I am.
Tswalu in the Kalahari.
It is absolutely incredible.
And of course, Pinda and Ngala right here on our doorstep.
Listen.
We have hours of great entertainment that is now playing on our channel. Catch up with guides from the past and of course your favorite animal characters.
It's happening. I've never seen this before.
The best of Safari Live will be broadcast on WildEarth channel daily, so jump on board and join us down memory lane. Times for this brand new series are on our website.
Oh, what are you doing? Are you trying out for the ballet? Now it's an itchy bottom. Up we get. Mom's coming. Everybody's moving off.
My name is Lauren, and I'm currently working in Djuma Private Game Reserve here in South Africa. I love answering your questions during the live safaris. It's my favorite part. It feels like you're on the vehicle with me, and I'm able to teach you exactly what you want to know. If you want to ask a question on WildEarth, then you need to register on our website. Once registered, you must go to the live safari page and ask your question below the live feed.
Welcome back from Tessa with the elephant that is in Mars. We still have Tandy with us. She's treating us very, very difficult. She's taking us in a very thick bush, in and out. We try to stay with her, but look like she's just after a scent of something. I'm not sure what might be. Now and then you can see looking, running, and focusing all the time, maybe in the bushes. She's starting out to be slowly. Let's see. Like now, what she's doing. A leopard is very clever. You might find that he just sent a scent of a she might be getting a scent of a baby impala or a baby steenbok that is living in the area, or grey decker, trying to figure out. We'll be cutting back to Tessa, which is having something in the area of operation.
So apparently our elephant is on a path of absolute destruction. He has pushed a tree right over the road through the drainage line, so we can now no longer access this drainage line because he's decided the roadblock is more important. And you can see the first thing he's done is gone straight for the branches that are now on the ground with the fresh green leaves. Look at the strength behind that. So there's a few different reasons why this male pushed this tree over, or could have pushed it over. Julia, yes, they do have incredible strength, and that's actually one of the reasons why an elephant might push a tree over. Especially an elephant bull in must, if he wants to show his strength, he might push over a tree to intimidate another bull elephant that's close by. This case, though, he's gone straight for the fresh greenery, and so what he's done is he isolated a tall tree in the riverbed where there's nice wet soil. So these trees are much more nutritious and fresh, in a sense, green, than the other trees around it. He pushed it straight over, and now he's feeding on all of the fresh shoots, because the shoots have the most, if you can call it, energy. They taste better, but they also have, because they're the growing parts of the plant, they have a lot more energy going to them. And so I think that's exactly what he was after. He's now given us a challenge, though, because if we ever want to use this drainage line again, we will have to try and move that tree. Unlucky for us, it would take us quite a few vehicles. So you can see his back legs. This is what I was talking about earlier when I said that he's dripping from his penile sheath. Have a look at how wet his foot is and the inside of his leg. So this is the clearest indication you can get, other than the smell that really smacks you in the face. It's so strong. This is a really good indication that he's in must. Constant dribbling, and it's actually that urine that smells so strong. So I actually just thought he was coming down to the drainage line because it's the easiest path for him that's nice and cool and sheltered to move from place to place. Elephants will choose drainage lines. But as we were turning, in fact, we were about to leave because we didn't want to disturb him. He decided to come back into the road and push the tree over. So this is actually not a bad thing. Having a tree pushed over like this is actually very important. Elephants are one of the main habitat shapers in southern Africa. So when I say habitat shaper, I mean this bull, by pushing over this tree, is shaping the landscape here. He's shaping the habitat. He's taking down a canopy with the tree, yes. But by doing this, he's now given a whole lot of other animals access to those fresh leaves that they never would have dreamed of reaching before. He's also given them access to the roots. And he's made a new micro-environment, a new niche environment for a lot of other animals, birds, insects, reptiles, scrub hares even at the base of the tree where the grass is going to grow taller now that it's been pushed over. They're actually very, very important because as they're shaping the habitat, as they have done for all of their existence really through time, the habitat is being shaped by them, so the animals around them are benefiting. Of course, there might be drawbacks, so they might be clearing some of the big old trees that have taken a very long time to grow, and they might injure an animal or two if it does accidentally fall on something else. But in the bigger scheme of things, if we had larger conservation areas, this wouldn't be a problem. The only reason why it tends to be seen as a problem is because in fenced areas, your elephants will cause more damage because they can't move anywhere else. So that's where the whole debate comes in. It's a very interesting topic. But it's actually very, very important that a big male elephant like this one is shaping the habitat for other creatures as well. And now it is just a rear end. But you can still see the tree moving. Let's have a listen to him while he's hidden like that. Are you choking on the smell, Darren?
I'm just joking.
Just joking. So we're having quite a great evening over here. You are definitely going to be stuck with me for a while. Wendy is good and properly stuck with Rexon. So while they're trying to get Wendy out, you'll be with myself and Darren, who is currently choking. He can't even talk. I think he's choking a bit on the smell of the elephant. It does hit you in the back of the throat a little bit. And then all of a sudden it's quiet. Oh, there he's feeding again. I love how you can see the whole tree moving when he pulls one branch. The strength behind that is amazing. So I'm going to stick around for a little bit longer just to see if he carries on feeding or not in this drainage line, but I think he might move off sometime soon.
I've always dreamed of Africa since I was a little girl. And then I just decided, you know what? It's time to come. It's time to just live the dream.
If you want to go on safari with a WildEarth guide, whilst honing your bush knowledge and of course featuring in one of our shows, then head over to our website.
It is so exciting. You're able to see the difference of what you see on TV to how much work it actually is creating what you see on TV. The leopards, mareeps. How could you not really fall in love with that cat? He's got such a personality, and you never know what he's going to do.
Sign up to be a WildEarth explorer, and you could be making your first ever on-screen appearance.
It's about just being together and seeing and enjoying the animals and the great outdoors. It's just been a great experience. Certainly, if anyone's able to, dare to dream and come.
There is clearly something in the vicinity around you that's drawn their attention. Yes, that meerkat in the tree is just the coolest of cool meerkats. But watch how he battles when he comes down. That would be like me climbing a tree, just better.
My favorite animal is a leopard, purely because I just think they are just the epitome of feline grace and power, and the way they can move about in any environment and remain hidden until they want to be seen, I just find it incredibly intoxicating, and they're amazingly beautiful.
Catch up with the guides daily here on WildEarth.
It seems the birds are louder than the elephant for now. He has moved to the other side of the tree, so he's hidden in the drainage line. And I can't hear him chewing, I can't hear him feeding. Oh, there we go. Looks like he's trying to break the top pieces of the canopy off, which makes a lot of sense because they're the closest to light, so they've got more energy. Oh, there's another elephant coming in from behind. In the road, you'll see him coming in from the back left. Dark mane lover, excuse me, elephants will stay in must for quite a while. It's normally this time of year, December months, when the marulas are around, and they might be in must for a month, sometimes 2 months. It depends on the elephant. It'll keep happening every year, and it'll keep happening multiple times a year, sometimes too. So it actually just depends, because it's like a hormonal cycle like any person would have. It will depend elephant to elephant. So that young bull has actually just joined in behind there and taking advantage of some of those fresh leaves as well. So essentially, must is triggered by the mating response. So if there's a lot of females in estrus in an area, then big males will go into must. It normally lines up there with the December period when the marula fruits are starting to ripen. And so I just want to give it another minute just to see how the big elephant reacts now that the young bull is here, because being in must, he shouldn't really be tolerating a younger bull, but there is more than enough food. But it is getting quite dark, and I don't want to stick around for too much longer in the dark. I'll just give it a little bit and then I'll move. Also, it seems that they're both quite intent on avoiding the camera. Very well camouflaged. That was actually the young bull. He pulled a branch or a root, something big off the bottom. Fiona, I agree. It is very hard to believe that an animal as big as these two, you know, the big male's probably close to 5 or 6 tons, maybe 5.5. And he stands at a good few meters tall and somehow you can't see him. It's mind-blowing. Alright, I think I'm going to leave these two. It is getting dark and they look like they're having quite a feast, so rather leave them to it. That was incredible seeing them feeding like that and hearing the sounds. Very, very special. So I'm just reversing back onto the road. I just swing a bit for our camera angle. There we go. And now I can turn. Oh my goodness, what a day on elephants. My mind is a little bit blown at the amount of elephants we've seen today, actually. It just shows you how intrinsic the animals are with weather patterns and changes, and everything is so linked to nature. It's, yeah, it can be quite difficult to even try and comprehend sometimes. Right, let's get the spotlight out. So it is definitely getting darker, so from here on out, if we do see anything, it'll be nocturnal things, hopefully, and we'll be using the infrared light. I really hope Rexon is getting himself unstuck there. It's getting dark. Yeah, we might have to go and help them, maybe. Ah, they're almost there. Fantastic. Thank you, Gwen. Good to know. So even small changes in things like seeing some of the more tropical bird species out today, or a lot more bird calls with the dawn and dusk chorus, dusk in particular, but through the afternoon, elephant activity. But then also if you look at smaller things like, you know, having a lot of different species together. This afternoon we had a lot of very active impalas, a lot of different species together, duikers and steenbok coming out as well. It just shows you from the constant rain this morning, and bear in mind it has been raining for 2 days. Everything's been quite nervous, and as soon as there is that chance where there is no wind and no rain, the advantage of the predators almost goes away. Yes, it was overcast, but it wasn't windy and it wasn't raining, so the predators lose that advantage. And all of a sudden, the herbivores come back out in force. It's so refreshing to see them all out today. I'm going through a little bit of a dip, so I hope my signal stays with me. I really, really, really hope. I also hope that there's not an elephant in this drainage line too, a big male, and must, because it's quite a tough one to get out of. Maybe I shouldn't jinx myself. So I think it's also very fascinating that, you know, of course we have seen Kalamba in the last few days, but okay, so there's just a spider moving around. That's what caught my eye. I think it's quite amazing that we've seen 2 separate leopards today as well. That's quite a special thing. Right, I'm going to carry on through the drainage line, but Rexon is back out and about. Let's go see what he's up to.
Hello, welcome back. Indeed. I'm tired. Tandy, she's treating me unfairly. She have taken me into a very thick area, and we drove into Tavang Baru, and we get stuck. And of course, we are out. She's turning back. After she put me into a Baru, she was really heading north and turned back south. She looked like she was doing that in purpose. She wants me to stuck. Maybe I was really getting close to her, I don't know, or trying to disturb her on the hunt. She's moving towards the east. We will try again. Maybe go ahead like a central road on that direction. We have no comms with the guys at the moment. We cannot know where she's going, but pretty much she's sending them back the previous area where we find her. We'll try to take a hyena road on that area. Make sure maybe we might get to see. Let me go down here. Hyena road is not far. I will manage to go back. I'll see if we can rejoin which area she's moving. If she's heading east of Hyena Road, it's a very thick area, no access there. We weren't able to follow up on her. We'll let her in peace and go and do her own stuff. And it's great to see Tandy. It's been a long time in this area. Look like she's coming back. She might be accounting other leopards in the area of Torchwood, far east, and around maybe Chito area. But what I like about Tandy, if she come back in the area, it means my ribs also will be back in the surrounding. We'll able to see my ribs if we work area very well, most especially in the eastern part of our area, more or less where Kalamba had a den, but I don't think Kalamba is still there. Might be moving away from that spot and headed west. Of course, we'll stay. Thank you so much, and all viewers are happy to have us back, and we are so happy to join you here. We managed to get up. I'm so glad if my ribs, it will be back in the area. We'll see if we follow up maybe in the morning. There will be more evidence of my ribs. Yes, There was an evidence this afternoon. I was right when I follow up on the Leopard tracks this afternoon that shows like a young man. I don't want to start again here. No. No. The road is closed here. We have to choose another direction. Of course. Hey.
Look at that. It's amazing. Wow. Hey.
And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Live.
Oh, that's cool.
Just in there.
And the black mamba's going up the tree and the mongoose is attacking it.
It's gonna pounce again.
Sure, you can all agree with me. It's not a bad start to our Wednesday morning.
Something that I have never seen before in my entire life that you are now watching live.
Look at that. It's just beautiful.
Fantastic display by a little herd of springbuck.
How is this view?
My heart is in my mouth, everybody.
Amazing, they've locked their tusks together. You can hear the cracking branches.
It is so incredible to spend this time so close to an African penguin, and it's completely unfazed by my presence whatsoever.
How insane is that animal?
Amazing.
Hey.
Awesome.
It is fantastic to watch.
Well, now we've got a tug of war between mom and daughter, look.
Just at a loss for words. That's just incredible to see that.
There was a little blacksmith lapwing. Ah, I found the impalas. Yay. I was starting to worry there. I'm just scanning around the sides just to see if there's anything else while we approach them. Alright, let's see what we've got going on with the infrared. There we go. Okay, so it looks like the breeding herd. think this might be the same breeding herd that I saw this morning and yesterday. Would make sense. They are quite territorial. But it does seem like there are less individuals, so I think they're quite spread out at the moment. We just can't see the rest of them. Oh, look at that. They're definitely hearing something other than the pill-spotted owlet in the background, because that's actually coming from the opposite side. I wonder what they heard. So anytime you're up in these open areas, if you don't really see impalas in their usual places, then you kind of start to get a sneaking suspicion that they know something you don't about a predator. And when she's looking like that, I get the same feeling. The fact that she keeps walking forward and staring. So what the impalas and a lot of other herbivores might do is if they do see something that they are not, oh wow, now there's two of them. If they see or hear something they're not quite happy with, they'll actually walk towards it and stop every few paces and stare. They might alarm call. Oh, there's a lamb having a stretch. Just to try and evaluate what it is. So until they've got enough information, they might actually keep walking forwards. It can also serve as an intimidation tactic, but you can imagine that works a lot better in the daytime than it does at night. At night, the predator has the advantage. Although in such an open area, the impalas are doing their best to even the playing field here. Oh, that lamb is very itchy. It might have some ticks, or even just flies bothering it. If you heard what sounded like a plane there, that was a dung beetle flying past very loudly. Oh, it's definitely got an itch. You can see it's uncomfortable the way it's running around and flicking its tail. There's definitely something bothering it. I think quite a few things. So you can actually see in the light a little bit all the little bits floating around. I think those are all flies and insects. They are still staring though. I think I'm going to get a little bit closer. See if I can figure out what is there, because we can see an eye. Maybe it's a white-tailed mongoose. And let's head over to Rexon, who has managed to get himself out of the thicket.
Back. We nearly stuck for a second time. You all enjoy Tessa. We moving slightly west, away from our previous area where we are, and slowly we'll be heading towards the direction of the camp. We're experiencing a little bit of problem with our vehicle at the moment. We'll try to slowly by show and head back slow to the camp. Anything that we might find in a way.
Scan here. Okay, so I've moved myself a little bit forward. We're just about to get set up and do a quick scan with the infrared light, just to see if there is anything here. This is the direction the impalas were looking in. And I have a sneaking suspicion it might be mongooses somewhere. And I think they're just hearing the movement. There's an eye there, but that looks like a bird. That looks a bit like a crocodile to me, but it's definitely not one. I don't know what that is. I think that bird is eating termites. No, it's a thickney. Oh, horse lover, last minute creature for the evening. I'm hoping to find a honey badger. That's what I want to see. A last minute honey badger. That would be amazing. Honey badgers, I feel, are so underestimated and under-talked about too. They are such tough animals. I think it's the toughest animal out here. Trying to duck my head out of the way. So, yeah, to me, if I saw a streak of black and white now coming across that screen, I would get quite excited, thinking it might be a honey badger. And it is the perfect time because it's quite warm out, and so animals are going to be out, and honey badgers are ferocious hunters. They can actually be out in the day as well. Most of my honey badgers, I've seen it in the day, and then I've seen a few at night every now and then. But it's amazing. If I think back to all of my honey badger sightings, I think majority of the ones that I saw in the day were either already eating something or they were killing something. I had one that dug up a snake from some form of underground burrow, dug it up and killed it and ate it in front of us. I've seen them eating scorpions as well. Well, there's something on the left of that termite mound too. Is it another thickney? Or is it insects? I don't know. I've seen honey badgers eating all sorts of things. It's one of the only animals that can survive bites from very venomous snakes without dying. Something like a Mozambican spitting cobra. Its body can burn through the venom. Unreal. Have a look at all those insects that are actually taking off from the grass around this thickney. Looks like a lot of them are beetles. There's definitely termites flying around as well, and that's what the thickney is after. That's why it's next to the termite mound. Oh, there's something behind the termite mound too. What are you, creature? Ah, it is bouncing around. Yes, a scrub hare. Oh, Landy Lover, very cool name. Birds of prey hunting is actually not that easy to spot. You often see them with kills already, so perched up in a tree and already feeding. But actually seeing them dive and make the kill is not altogether that common. I've probably seen it maybe 4 or 5 times. Yeah, probably about 4 or 5 times in the years where I've actually seen it from start to finish. And probably my favorite one was a martial eagle just sitting in a mapani tree, and it was being mobbed by a whole lot of other birds. And as this grey go-away bird came to mob it, the martial eagle just stuck its leg out and clamped down on the grey go-away bird and then killed it with one little strip of the beak. It was absolutely unbelievable. Something that I will never forget. It was like it happened in slow motion, but it was so fast. And the grey go-away bird was part of the crowd. It just happened to be the unlucky one of the mobbers. Oh, I can hear hyenas. Listen. That's coming from around the dam cam area for your Tela Dam. Yeah, there are definitely 2 vocalizing. Oh, 3 now. I'm actually very keen to see more of the hyenas and try and work out what the current dynamic is. I think there's a lot going on and a lot that we haven't seen in a while. But anyway, I'm going to carry on for a little bit and just see if there's anything else I can find.
The lionesses, we had Darkman, of course, doing his best to protect them and to catch a buffalo for them for dinner. But unfortunately, as soon as the buffalo came along, he hot-tailed in the opposite direction. No, we're having a fabulous time, and it's really been magnificent so far. Thank you.
Cape Nature is the chief custodian of the Western Cape of South Africa's natural environment. This highly successful organization strives to conserve the province's natural heritage to ensure a sustainable future. Besides nurturing nature, Cape Nature offers an authentic ecotourism experience to local and international visitors. And one of these experiences is walking amongst the penguins at Stony Point, or as we know it, Penguin Beach. WildEarth broadcasts live from here every day and is very privileged to be partnered with Cape Nature, who have focused their conservation efforts here. If you want to visit these iconic black and white African penguins for yourself, then head over to our website to find out more. Cape Nature. Conserve, explore, experience.
So there we go, look. All 3 in one frame. Look at that, isn't that cool? Oh, that is so special. That is exactly what we had been hoping for, is all 3 of them to come together and make the perfect little family portrait.
Welcome back. We are back, heading slowly back to the camp. We experienced a little bit earlier on. We were stuck and we were nearly stuck for the second time, but we managed ourselves. We are heading back to the resident of our camp, down and away, because we experienced quite a lot of insects are active. You might get to see snake or panther or anything that might be also active, because they want to eat flying insect, frog. We already drive past from where we stuck. There was a frog on the road that crossed the road to the bush. So here we might get to see snake, especially very close to the termite mound. It's where these flying termite coming off from. All these termite mounds that are still living, the ones that are dead, you weren't able to see them. But most of the termite mounds here, they have termite inside. So it's now time from the rain, heavy rain like. We'll be cutting to Tessa here where she's come through. She come across with the hyena, looking back to Tessa.
So it seems that we have found a hyena. I do need help identifying this one. Please, if anybody knows who it is, would be very, very helpful. I'll just try to make sure I don't knock anything while I'm reversing. Watch the one time I say that, I'll knock something. Right, let me try and find find it again. So I think this hyena heard the other hyenas and now it is on a mission to find them. Yes, going straight down towards the dam. We might have some clan drama. I don't want to preempt anything, but definitely some action happening. I'll stop just around this bend and show you. It seems this hyena is jogging at full pace. Let's see if we can maybe get it for a smidgen there. It's quite far out of range already. Oh, right, down to the dam we go. Let's give it a bash. So it's very likely that because all of the predators have been a lot more active today, that, you know, the hyenas are going to be more active. They can smell that the leopards have been around. They can hear each other, and there were already 3 different hyena calls earlier while we were sitting with the spotted thickney. So it might be likely that this hyena is actually going to cross over the drainage line south of the dam. Oh, Swazi, one of my favorites. Thank you so much, hyena boy. I appreciate that. So first time I met Swazi, Swazi thought that he was a wild dog for the day. One of my favorite sightings ever. Swazi always seems a little bit, I don't know, out of the crowd, maybe. Maybe that's why I relate to Swazi. Sometimes. Oh, I'm going to try and catch up. We don't have very much time left. But I am going to try my best to catch up. I just don't want to bounce Darren off the back. Oh no, we're heading down into the drainage line. That's alright. Okay, so we saw Swazi. This is good. I saw a nocturnal animal. I'm happy about that. Another one anyway. So what I'm going to do then, I'm not going to follow. Swazi has gone down towards the drainage line. And I'm certainly not going to be heading in there. But we do have a scrub here. Right, let me switch off. Oh. Seems the animals are abandoning me tonight. Ah, there it is. Yeah. Not a very clear view, but you can see it hopping around. A pretty cute substitute, I think, after a glimpse of flashing by Swazi. Definitely listening out, so I'm pretty sure that hyena did not even care. Swazi did not care that the scrub here is here. What an epic day. I feel like from a little bit quiet this morning, really lovely rain. We've gone right the way through to Kalamba and Tandi. So many elephant sightings today. Swazi.